everyone? Let's see. I think the mic is on. Oh, got to turn it off on my own end too. All right. See what do we got? We got Cajun and Dragon in the house. Melissa's in the house. Silver's in the house. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, Melissa, you got company. That's cool. I got company too. It's called Me, Myself, and I. Take that. And see a new name, Silver Bugle. Woohoo, just got here and it's break time. Yeah, it's always break time on this stream. And let me see. Let me go up here. Hit this one. We're going to copy that. Ooh. Coffee sounds like the right play. Oh yeah, I definitely got my coffee. I always got my coffee. Always, 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 always. Oh, ain't that nice? Friday we got a enhanced risk for some severe weather. We go that way. Tried that. I think that worked. And okay, load. Okay. We'll do that like that in there. I'm still here. I'm still here, I promise. We'll try that. What's going on, SJ? Trey's in the house. Pocket change. Welcome, welcome, welcome all. Appreciate y'all coming in and saying hi. Hanging out. I've been working on my channel sticker. Yes, I have not forgotten about that. Been working on my channel sticker. And Dragon, I need to figure out how to email you this picture, because you had that program that you were showing off and it put all the little fuzzy lines and psychedelic stuff on the screen. It's either that or I need to get that program if it's free so I can continue to work on this. Let me see. Let me change cameras. There we go. All right. Never too old for stickers. No, nope, nope. And Trey goes, I can't wait to see what Ken says. Is someone in trouble? Did someone do a boo-boo? It's SJ. SJ's always in trouble. Hey, Trey. So I came up with this little design. I don't know how, but I think on the insides do red lines. It'll be the inside will be white with red lines, like it's kind of like a bloodshot effect. And then on the outside, Dragon showed off a program that had all kinds of psychedelic little things going on and patterns and 3D effects. Something like that in blue or a shade of blue. So that's what I've been working on.
Is that I
Nothing
missed
new.
something? Is that gonna be a new addition to your logo or something?
It's going to be channel sticker.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to design me a logo for a sticker. I think I want to stick with my St. Gaudens double eagle, but uh, definitely want the Cajun coin hunter in there and a YouTube symbol. Just don't know how I want to stack up the lettering on the coin or wherever. You know,
Yeah.
I got I got plenty of time for that.
Yeah, it's fractional art. Thanks, Dragon. How's Cajun doing today?
Cajun's doing good, thank you. How y'all doing?
Doing wonderful.
Oh, that's Chris.
Everyone in chat doing all right? You can complain, but we might not listen or read it.
Or read it, yeah. That was a good one. Oh, I got a very nice email from CJ Coins and Crafts today.
Wow, he never sends me emails.
That 2007 Darkrite that me and you've been talking about frequently.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. It's the only one he's ever seen. It's a Darkrite plus a die chip, and he's submitting it. It's gonna be attributed, I guess.
He found a
Um,
1909 and 1909S in rolls.
today enrolls. Huh.
Damn.
Nice.
You better run down to 7-Eleven and get yourself some lottery tickets.
Yeah.
That's a great
Especially
find.
especially if they had a VDB. Yeah, they're worn. I could imagine.
I was going through my boxes on some of my OBW rolls, and I came across a 72S roll. And why is that knocked over? And there's a 74S. I don't think there's anything on 74s though.
Oh, okay, CJ.
What going on, CJ? Um, as always, I got to do a sound check because I still got
CJ.
this. I still got this mic that I'm using that I've had problems with before.
Well, I don't see a new email from CJ. I probably didn't come through yet. Oh well.
It came through, but you got filters on.
No. Oh God, I remember that night. Okay. Just
Yep.
dropping
And
chat. I thought I might find you here. Just dropping by a quick check email. Okay. Yeah, I've seen all the other ones, and I thought you might have sent me one just a few minutes ago. I'll check in a minute. Thanks, CJ.
went up to the hardware store today. I'm redoing my bathroom, painting it, redoing the shelves and stuff in it. So I've been working on that today. I got the the wall putty. It's drying. It's going to dry overnight, and then just a quick little sand on it and paint. Maybe I'll get done with it tomorrow or the next day. I got crap all over the desk. I wonder I can't find nothing. That goes in there. What are these? That says 72S. Oh, they are 72S's. Cool. I got 2 rolls of those.
Oh, I've got a couple old beater 72S's.
There's some 72Ps. There's my roll of, that's a roll of 1916s. I got to go through those again. What's this one say?
All right, Dragon.
68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73S. Those are ones I took out of roll hunting. I don't remember if I looked at those or not. Now there's a 74S. Holy crap. I had to look in this little box over here more often. I'm finding all kinds of stuff in it.
That's like finding treasure all over again.
Yeah. So, the S Mint Mark. S, San Francisco. They were made in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah, that's the Rice-A-Roni treat.
Right.
So,
Let's see.
finally got my money checking for Woodies on eBay. I didn't even check eBay today yet to see if I had any sales or not. Probably didn't.
I might order me a 72S's. $5.70.
Not bad.
No, not bad at all. Give a few away, to the nieces and nephews for presents and stuff. On their birthdays or whatever.
All right, so let's.
I don't have that. I don't have no nieces and nephews that were born that year, though.
Oh, look, that's not even focused. That looks like it's focused to me. It's backwards, so this is going to be difficult. But one thing I want to look at is on the 2, the inside of the 2, above my stick, sometimes you'll see a tail. On the corners, going to look for split ends. You look for extra metal along there. What's going on, Christopher?
Where's Brian? Oh, hey, Brian. I didn't see you. Oh, I just got back on the chat. I was looking at something. Wow, Chris dumped $280 in pennies.
What's going on, Hooper?
59 to 82 coppers with errors in varieties today to put back in circulation. Wow. Yeah, a lot of people ain't gonna look for them varieties and errors though. Well, we hope they do.
God, is there a bad glare on it?
No.
No? Okay. Just on my end?
That shows up pretty good on my end.
All right. Well, go to the next victim here. Here's the good old S mint mark. Let me see. Let me sharpen up a stick here. Makes it easier to point stuff out.
Where's your toothpicks?
Yeah, it's a toothpick. Okay, let me see. See if I can point this out. Whoops. Whoops. Hold the paper down. Maybe I won't do it. This little point right here, sometimes you'll see that up in this area. That little piece of metal that you see there, that's pretty common to see on these 72s to have that there. So I want to look for any type of
What's up with
split.
that S? What's up with that S?
Huh?
What's up with that S? Is this a shadow or something, or?
Yeah, on the bottom hook.
No, towards the top middle. In trust.
Looks pretty normal. The 72s. Let me see. Let me find the coin here. The 72s are going to show some of the same type of doubling as the 72 Philadelphia. This is a 72 Philadelphia, and the 72S will show some of the same type of doubling on it.
Yeah, that's pretty right there. Hello, John Oof. I don't know if I'm saying John Oof or of.
John Oof Coins.
Yeah, I'm friends with him on YouTube.
So
he made me a moderator when he first started off. 100 or 200 subs. He made everybody a moderator back then, and he took some away. He's down in Florida.
My back hurts tonight. Oof.
Yeah, that's what it is. Oof. Okay, not
Okay, I got it.
I always thought that was oof.
I got to do something here. So, many of you know I got Ammo, my dog, Chocolate Lab. I've been teaching them how to speak, on how to say words.
Wow. Start off with French words.
So, I had a buddy come over earlier this morning, and I was talking to him about this, and he's like, "Oh, you're full of it. No way, your dog can't talk." He says, "Yeah, my dog can talk." He didn't believe me. So we just put a little gentleman's bet on it, $1. That's old school. That's gentleman's bet back in the day. I believe back in the 40s. Dragon, you could go away.
Roof. Okay, so back to the bet and the puppy.
No, I can't do it because Dragon had to ruin it. Can't even tell a story anymore.
Oh, so okay, okay.
So the joke goes, I point to the top of the house and I go, boy, what's that? And he goes, roof, roof.
Okay.
And the other one is you point to a tree and you go, boy, what's on that tree? And he goes, bark, bark. Yeah, I know. It's corny, but it's a story.
I hear myself on your end. Is your volume up just a little bit, Blue?
You might be getting a little bit of feedback. Let me see.
From your mic.
Because I got my mic is right there.
Okay, it's not bad. I was just wondering because I couldn't hear myself.
And it is 17 inches. It's 17 inches from my speakers.
Okay.
So it might be picking up some of that.
Yeah, that's not bad or anything, but I could just hear a little tiny bit of it.
We could do a little test. Let me put the mic over here.
Oh, John Wolf's in the house. Different John Wolf. Different spelling.
What's going on, John? Okay, now how's this sound check? Can you all hear me?
Oh, fine. Perfect. Well, I can. If Blue sounds good, everybody, type 1. Yes. Just hanging out. John Wolf. I know there's 2 John Wolfs and a Mike Wolf. Oh, boy. Okay, I shouldn't have said type 1.
Yeah, you can't. No, you can't do 1.
Right. I have to show them.
Cajun, you know better than that.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Now everyone's going to be typing 1 just so it has to go to. Oh goodness, here it comes.
Okay.
Cajun, you're fired.
Yeah, okay. You fall.
I feel like firing everybody today. You're all fired.
Oh, Pocket Things did it right. WON. One.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get back.
SJ, the thing about the number 1 in chat, if you type 1 in a chat by itself, it doesn't go through for some reason. So a moderator or the host of the live stream has to approve it. I don't know why, but it's been like that forever. Yeah, John Oof, the feedback is gone. All right, coins. Correct, SJ. But it's just that one. It's just that one number. That's the only one. You can type 2 or 3. It doesn't matter.
YouTube considers it spam. Well, then stop spamming on the channel. Has anyone ever toured the San Francisco Mint? No, I not. I lived 2.5 hours, 3 hours from San Francisco. Was up there all the time, but I never went through the Mint because I wasn't interested in coins back then. So,
Be right back.
be right back. Agent gone. You did in high school, John? How was it? Was it fun? You remembering any of it? Going on, Hidden?
Oh, Hidden's here. Hey, Hidden, how you doing?
Everything's going well today. I'm working on painting my bathroom. So I got it all tore apart. And then we got the chat going here, and then I'm going through S-Mint cents. Because this is a coin channel and got to talk about coins on top of the fun we have when midnight comes around.
We did it last night till 3 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. I must have been tired more than I thought, because as soon as my head hit the pillow, I was out.
I caught up on some videos.
No.
I did. I caught up on some videos and people that watch mine. I watch theirs. Like that. Commented on theirs and replied to a bunch of comments on my videos. I try to reply to everybody that comments to me.
Yeah. See, Pocket Change asked me if I was doing a cent epoxy floor. And no, I'm not. I'm just repainting the walls and repainting the shelves that are in there. Just freshening everything up.
Yeah, John Wolf. I didn't know they were still doing. Well, they're probably not still doing that. But Blue, you familiar with the Perth Mint? I assume most everybody is in Australia.
Well, I know there's a Perth Mint.
Yeah, a friend of mine. He's from France. He's French. He's a personal friend of mine. He's come down here to visit me a couple times. He moved to Australia. Oh God, 25, 30 years ago. He's in charge of the horticulturist side of the customs, plants and stuff like that going into Australia. Anyway, he lives in Perth, and at the Perth Mint, there's a little machine you can, a little area you can drop $1, $2 in it, and it'll press a coin. The presses are there with the dies and all that in it, and you see how it's minted, and it says Perth Mint on it, and he's gonna send it to me. That'd be a nice little oddity coin for my collection.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Cindy's in the house.
So that would be in probably MS. You could see it come out of the press, down the chute, into the little tray. So I guess if you had your hand right there to catch the coin, it would more than likely be an MS 68 and above, since it's not hitting getting bag marks from other coins. But you know,
Yeah, you would think that it'd come out in a higher grade, but I don't know how often they would go through and clean the machine and make sure everything's lined up properly. And
right.
because just on the rim edges of the coins, if it's fatter on one side, on the left side of the coin, and thinner on the right side, that's basically a point.
Right.
So your 68 turned into a 67, or maybe even a 66.
Right.
Funny how that works out. Coin could be flawless, perfect, and if it's not lined up properly, that's a point.
Yep. Uh, you know, I don't know how many coins. I mean, I don't know how many people do that. With that little, token thing. It's a token. From the Perth Mint. It's what it's meaning actually. I don't know what it. I think it's either copper, nickel, or copper. But if it's say 40 or 50 times a day, over a year's time, yeah, you've got a little bit of wear going on there in the dies. I mean,
Okay, hey Dragon, there is a link posted on the YouTube community page if you want to come in. This O caught my attention.
yeah, it's skinny on the top.
Well, it's fat on the bottom and then skinny on top, but there's points. Has a little bit of oval shape to it with points.
Uh huh.
See what else? Anything else on the coin? Just besides that, because there should be more. A little shadow on the edges here. No, I'm not seeing no splits on it. No, I'm not seeing nothing more than that. There was nothing on the date. Yeah, see, there's another O, so that's got to be in the working hub. Maybe getting a little wore out on one side, giving it that effect.
Oh, I see my email from CJ.
Oh, it came in.
Yeah.
Going on,
Um,
JC?
it's from JC Stevens, Cuds on Coins. JC Stevens mailed him back. He says, "Hi, CJ. Besides spike heads, the only die cracks I list are bisecting rim to rim die cracks or unusual die cracks. A die crack through the E in one is common on the Lincoln Memorial Cent. sorry, but I'll pass on this one. Regards, JC. And you know what? I'm like you, Blue. I've never seen one down there in that area either. But according to Mr. Cuds on Coins, JC Stevens, he says those are very or common.
I could I could see his point on that because I mean, how many coins? How many collectors are sending them pictures of coins every day for them to look at? So he may see them all the time.
Correct. Oh, hey, Dragon's here.
Hey,
You're the
Dragon.
one I need.
Okay, then you're beeping.
Yeah, roof.
What is it? Show him some sandpaper and ask him to say rough.
Rough. Okay, that's a new one.
Yeah.
I'm bound and determined to find something in these OBW rolls.
Hello, Cindy.
I got 3 people in here. Me,
Hi.
Agent, Dragon. Got some people in the chat.
We got 11 watching.
Life is good.
Yeah, there's a lot of love when I get people watching my channel. It's either that or there's nobody else on and I'm the last resort. I just might be the last resort.
You got to remember, too, Blues, on those 72s, you're going to have master die doubling. I don't know so much about the S-mints, but the P-mints for sure.
Yeah.
You're going to have that funky-looking B in Liberty, for one thing. That inside loop of the 2 is always got extra metal, too.
Yeah, that's pretty common on these 72Ss.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know about the others.
They're having serious problems at the Mint with their hubbing process, apparently, in 72. That's kind of why there's so many different double die varieties. And then shortly after, they went to those nasty plump devices in 1975. Well, actually, 74 if you want to get technical.
JC, Will, yeah, I got the notification on it. Thanks, bud. I
Hey.
think I think
doing,
I
JC?
you added quite some time ago, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check later. And I'll add you tomorrow.
That's a good point, Dragon, on the master doubling.
Oh, yeah.
That's an I overlook sometimes or not think about. That's that.
Whoa, hello.
That too interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm looking at
All
I
right,
just
let's go.
found an AU Flying Eagle for 129. Woody.
$129? That's not bad.
Yeah, or make an offer.
That's not
The
bad
reverse
at all.
detail isn't what I'd like, but it's got a retained cut too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if maybe it's a snow variety.
So Dragon, did you hear while you was jumping in here? I don't know if you heard about the email I explained to Blue about that 2017 die crack. You heard that conversation?
I can hardly hear you. Hold on, let me turn my TV up a little bit. All right, try again.
Well, while you were jumping in here, I didn't know if you heard my email I read to Blue just now about my die crack coin.
Oh, no, I didn't hear that.
Well, that 2007 we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. CJ got it today. He took some pictures, submitted it to Cards and Coins with JC Stevens,
Mm-hmm.
and he replied back to CJ and said the only die cracks he does is from rim to rim in his book or listings. I mean, on his listing on his website. And he said that die crack from the rim over the E halfway to the memorial. Okay, the E and 1 on the reverse side, 1 cent.
Mm-hmm.
E and 1 halfway to the memorial. He said that's a common die crack.
Yeah.
So he's going to pass on that one to put it on his listings. But I think CJ is going to put it, submit it to somebody else because
They get bigger too. They go all the way.
And it has a die chip also.
There's a great example of some master die action there. Oh, Bill Betts. JC Will.
Bill Betts, hello.
That almost looks like a dang die chip on the top of the left leg of that end.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
God, I am so tired. I ran around all over today. Took a little nap when I got home. Got up about an hour ago. I'm looking after this computer for a friend of my mom's. It doesn't even turn on. I got bad feelings about it. Then I looked at a couple other peripheral problems he was having. Problem was he was using a 2000 printer on a Windows 10 system.
Yeah, you know what? I think the Windows programs are set up not to accept any equipment that's older than 1 year old.
Yeah, it's freaking Windows 10. It's
just to make you go out and buy some, just so you have to go out and buy more.
well, that's exactly it, man. It's consumerism.
Hello,
Planned
Paula.
obsolescence.
I mean, you take care of your printer, it'll last you for a long time.
There should.
Hello, Paula. How you doing tonight?
What's good, Paula? How you doing?
Hello, Paula.
Let me fix my camera here.
Yeah, see this one. Is that an example of master?
Well, that's a 72S, right?
Huh?
That's a 72S, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Give me a second. I'm going to throw a shirt on. And I'll take a look on Wexler's site. No, Paula, I'm pooped too.
Any elephants this evening? No hidden. Yours is still resting up in the box. I'm waiting for some W quarters to come in so I can add it to the package.
Woohoo!
You know, Blue, I see something real good on that I and that N, like notching.
Yeah. This is one that fools you.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I'm backwards or forwards here or what, but that I is like this kind of, and at the top, and then at the bottom it looks kind of normal. If you know what I'm trying to get at, and then the N is the same. You know, you could see it more at the top than at the bottom. Present that that I and N again because I think Coin Dragon wants to look at that real good.
All right, Hidden. I'll make sure. I could add some hay and some alfalfa cubes to the package to keep them busy.
Pachyderm.
Pachyderm. All right. It's empty. I'll be back.
Okay.
Y'all entertain yourself for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, and Coin Dragon mentioned it for Master Hub doubling.
Yeah, die, Mister, die.
Master, thank you. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Dang it, Beavis.
There's so many variables in the master dies and oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's like I said. 72 was a rough year for the men.
Yeah, and you notice how the 72, 73 have that real wide bowl rim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My buddy Johnny Best.
69, they changed the design. That particular design ran until like 73, I think. And 74, they started monkeying around with the design a little bit. Wound up with the ones we see from 75 to 82, the fatty devices that I can't stand.
But I like that 72 series because of that bowl rim. I mean, you can feel that rim in with your fingers. It's like the 2017 nickels and the 18. I want to say it's more in the 2017s. The rim has more of a sharp edge to it than than the wider. You know, it almost feels like it will cut you.
Why is this so dark? Hold on a second here. Gonna monkey with my settings here a little bit. Oops. Yeah, I'm looking on eBay right now for some goodies to get with what I got here. Now, EERC on eBay, Eagle Eye Rare Coins, that's got to be Mr. Snow.
Oh, Snow. Yeah.
Close Encounters Wave. Yeah, Mr. Snow here. He's got an 1866 Indian cent that's just fine grained woody, and I am just drooling.
That pretty, huh?
Yeah, I'm so tempted to just pull the trigger on this thing. It's not even funny. But $535 or best offer. And it's a little steep.
Oh, I see blue clips and Pepsi.
Yeah, I did a lot of driving today.
I'm pretty wore out too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I did though. just been in my bathroom working.
Well, that'll do it. Oh, there's a nice 33. I should show you all what I'm looking at. Wait a minute. Pull out. What?
What? What? Wait, what?
SJ. How dare you?
I can pull out the driveway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, there's another one.
Yep.
Yeah. Not as strong as the other one.
Same difference.
If it is another one.
Well, yeah, I put that first one in a flip and marked it for a reference.
Yeah, I saw you flip it.
Ooh, 31S. Hmm.
And when I got my 31S at the coin show, I was pretty happy.
And I don't have any keys yet.
I think the next one I'm going to try to get the 14D.
These jerks are, I mean, they're hopping on the Woody train in the bad way. They're all starting to get expensive.
Yeah.
There's a demand for them.
Yep.
Between you and Ken.
Shay.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget, Shay's putting a set together too. Mantic.
Yeah, he's.
Okay.
We're all kind of me, him, Ken. I'm not sure who else. It's not a race or anything. It's just. Oh, let's see. What's this guy got here?
Oh, Shay likes the Woodies too.
Say what? Cajun?
Shay likes the Woodies also.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know I've seen him talk about it a few times. I know he's into die cracks big time.
Oh yeah. That too. Oh Lord. Garbage.
Garbage. There we go. Hey, look, another 72S.
Nice. Ooh. Yeah, look at that.
I got a whole roll of them.
Oh, fire out. What the hell do we got in my scope? Oh, that's another thing I got to get too is a proper stand for my scope. Maybe I'll just get a new scope. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, let me know how much you want for your old one.
Oh, well, see, the thing with my old one is it doesn't have a stand. I just kind of MacGyvered a stand with a, what do you call it, a tripod. That way, with the tripod, you can crank it to focus it up and down.
Oh.
You work with what you got. But everything's solid. It's a 5-megapixel camera. The software that comes with it to control it is phenomenal. You can take pictures with different lighting angles and then mash them together. You can stitch pictures. You can crop, rotate, tilt, zoom, pan, everything.
Oh, you got one of them $100+ scopes.
Yeah, this is an AM scope. It's like a lab scope. It's got the eyepieces as well as the up top of the camera.
There's some nice MD.
Really? Where?
On the 2, I think.
Well, I've got to hide the participants. I keep forgetting to do that. Oh, and the S for sure.
Yep, the S and half of the date.
Top of the 2.
Showing the chin. That's about it.
Oh, what the hell?
Hey, Mike White. How you doing?
Mr. Mike, what say you?
Good on, Mike.
Oh, there's an 1893 British farthing. That's just scary Woody. That's kind of cool. PAC coin. I think I've dealt with them before. Oh, British Columbia. Yeah, customs.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about shipping. I mean, on my listings, I have to put U.S. shipping only because
Right.
some of that custom paperwork's a pain in the ass.
I probably could fill it out because that's what I used to do. But if it's coming from Canada and it gets hung up, it depends. One customs inspector might say, well, I want end user, blah, blah, blah. And there's a potential duty on numismatic coins. I don't remember how much it is, but it's, I mean, the tariff book is like an unabridged Bible. It's like seriously about 5 inches thick.
Yeah.
The different tariffs and stuff that get imposed on, you know, shippers and whatnot.
Well, if you lie on that customs paperwork, because they say if you're shipping coins, don't put coins on the paperwork because anybody could see that. But if you just put something that's really not exciting on it,
Like collectibles.
and they do a random search on your package, couldn't you get in trouble for falsifying the custom paperwork?
No, as long as it's not misleading. Like if it's coins and you say that it's, I don't know, toothpicks or something, then yeah, you're gonna get hassled. But if you say collectibles and it's coins, well, coins are collectible, and depends. Do they want a better description? Sometimes that happens because that's what I dealt with. I dealt with stuff coming into the States from Canada, and it was.
Oh, so you're the one
easy.
stealing all my packages.
What's that?
So you're the one stealing all my packages.
This was 10 years ago, brother.
Well, I've been on eBay for what, 15 years?
There is a thing that somebody in Canada said one time in a chat or in comments something about when they get their silver coins from America, from somebody, individual like us or whatever, there's something about taxes that they have to pay. If
That's a
it's
duty.
money, yeah, duty, or if it's like silver, if it's stated on the customs form a certain way, the Canadian recipient doesn't have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah, it works the same both ways. I'm not sure how much the duty would be on a numismatic item. I think it goes by dollar value, probably. That would make the most sense. I could find the U.S. tariff book right now.
Hey, Mike White, there's that coin again. The close-up of what you saw. I saw it too, and I didn't think it was anything.
It's a funky looking E.
Check those funky letters, wine boy. We should send a hubcap to Africa about 10 years ago. Really? Boy, that's kind of random.
Yeah. See the E now?
Yeah, it doesn't look as funky.
It's all in the magnification, boys and girls.
Right, right.
Ooh, here's a 63, Woody.
They're saying it's a crazy E.
It is super crazy.
Yeah, but when you showed it, they typed it, and then since you're the host, you're gonna get it 15 seconds later.
Since you the man.
Me and Dragon will do it right away in chat.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, guns. Yeah, that's another thing too, Cindy. The light will mess with you.
Yeah, it was, but now it's not. Yeah, that's right, Bill.
Come on, there's got to be a 31S Woody in here somewhere.
It's enough. It was enough of a mark on it to make you look at it better.
Well, see, now that's what I call good eye. To be able to find it in the first place.
Duh.
Hey.
I saw it the first time, and I dismissed it as nothing. But Mike said something in the chat, so I brought it back up so it could be seen, looked at again.
Well,
It's always better to have a second pair of eyes.
I think Adriana's here. I don't think it's Shay.
I feel tricky. So tricky.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
if that's
sure-
Shay, we might need to have an intervention or something here.
Hey, Manic.
We don't know who it is.
Adrian.
I'm pretty sure it's her.
Ooh, what's this? What's this? Ooh, 64 large motto, 2 cent wood. Oh, I've got one coming. I shouldn't fuss with it. Oh, it's got a huge gouge on the shield too.
$127 for a 31S Woody. Well, he didn't say Woody. He just said 31S.
Yeah.
Wonder what
Well,
condition.
that's typical for a decent grade.
It is Adriana. She found another 87 last night. I figured it was.
Did
her.
you really?
That's
That's
three in a
awesome.
row. Damn. That's 3 last night she found. I have one that was sent to me as a gift.
Cool.
And I don't know where Tiny's at.
You know what? I think I might do a contest for my old scope if I get a new one.
Lustrous uncirculated 31S. Okay, Bill.
Yeah, see, there's another one of those master.
Oh, let me pull it up. Oh, yeah, sure is.
But then I come down here and I see a great big fat eye in Liberty. Some of these will fool you.
Oh, yeah, that's 72 can either be really great or it'll just drive you wacko.
Yep. It'll make you pull your hair out, and I'm a good example of that.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Hey,
let's see.
Bill. Bill, that was that $127 for that 31S, and MS60 goes for like $160. So that price of 127 was a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you can get nice AU ones that are,
Right.
depends if you look, sometimes they're undergraded. You can get one for about, you might even be able to get one for under 100 too.
AU is 128.
I picked mine up for under 100, way under 100.
That's good.
EF is 105.
Yeah, this isn't helping me. Well, I wanted to check out half cents too.
It depends on who's grading that coin too.
Hey, I could cut a coin in half.
Got a laser?
Well, no, I got a saw.
Wow.
Oh God, I was in Home Depot today, and I was looking at those. I was looking at new saws. I was also looking at Sanders.
Barry?
Barry Sanders?
Oh, yeah, okay, I get it now.
I'm not tired, I know. Okay. Ooh, wait, I gotta get a funnel web. I like those funnel webs.
I need to go to Harbor Freight and get me an ultrasonic cleaner. My other one's shot.
There you go.
I was wondering, you know what? I was wondering if you could clean clean a coin in an ultrasonic cleaner?
People have done it, like with Doug coins. I don't know if it really harms the surfaces or not. You would think to some degree it might.
I don't know. When I get my new one in, I might try it with something old.
Yeah, just do it with a BS coin and see what it does. That's what I would.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, Cindy, I saw that. Ken playing pool.
Oh my God, that was insane. The
That
quarter.
that kind of resembled him.
That was nuts, man.
Cindy, what's your Facebook name? Oh well,
It's on-
no, if
It's
the
on the
same,
YouTube.
I mean,
It's on the
I'm not
YouTube
giving you
community page.
personal. If it's the same, I could look it up, but don't put it in the chat. You know.
No troubles in the chat, fool. Ooh, that's
Okay.
kind of cool. Ruthenium. The
Yep.
Funnel Web Blackout Collection. That's cool.
That was it for that roll. Okay, so
Okay, pocket change.
all right, chat people. Oh, here, wait a minute. We changed the camera here. There I am. Okay,
God, that he's doing this.
I have another roll of 72S. Quarters of a roll of 55S. And a little over half a roll of mixed 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73S.
A bunch of S.
So, what y'all want to look at? 72, 55, or mixed?
Oh, definitely go for mixed, dude.
Okay, mixed, and then 55. I love the Wheaties.
Oh, Adriana, that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
What I miss?
Shay's going to do a show on Sunday for how to work Hangouts for newbies. Very cool.
Oh, goody.
Oh, goody.
That'll help me.
I've been trying to get my OBS to work with Google Hangouts for 3 weeks now and can't figure anything out.
You got to throw it in the plugin folder, I think.
Yeah,
I
I've done all of that. It's stupid. It's a computer, so I'm automatically lost.
Well, Blue,
Okay.
I thought you had it already.
The 72 is an OBW roll. The 55, I don't remember. I think that was a BU roll. And the mixed dates are ones that I pulled out of roll hunting. And I'm not sure if I've been through them or not. Sometimes I'll just put them in the tubes and then go through them later.
Blue, I think the 55s were a OBW, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, strange.
Well, Blue, I thought you had your Hangout already all, you got all that with the OBS already down pat.
Not with Hangouts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man, I get no eBay bucks for Booyah. That sucks.
Well, Blue, how did you get Shay and Ken and all that in your Q&A that one Thursday?
I sent them invites.
A what?
I sent invite through Facebook Messenger.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're gonna do the mix date.
Woo!
I know.
That's why he's going to do it. 1 hour at the basics. That.
Let me see.
There's also a 1946S Cud here that I've been watching, and a very good dealer. The neat thing about this is the Cud is on the reverse. I think I'm going to make it mine.
All right, there's the first one, 71.
S. San Francisco.
Open your golden gate. Don't let a stranger wait outside your door. Song my grandparents used to sing to me. $5 from eBay box. All right.
Hey, Dragon, John Wolf asked, is the 1919S Woody any good?
Yeah. What kind of grade are we talking about here? Do you know? Give me a rough guesstimate. Whoops. I did it again. My big old feet. Now my camera's all kittywampus.
No, you're all right. It's still good.
There
I
it is.
think it. There. I think it.
All right, what date's this one? 69. Come on, DDO.
Right?
That's the one everyone's looking for.
How about a big smack in the middle of trust? Holy crap.
Yeah, hey, yeah, what was that under the S?
4 point.
Was that a gouge or it flew by so fast I didn't see what it was under the S and the T.
Oh. Yeah, it's just a little
Damage.
spot. Gouge.
Booger.
Yeah, see, it's all chewed up on this side, too.
That looks like rolling machine damage.
It got hit with something.
And then some. Stay tuned.
Ooh.
Thank you. Your order was placed. Excellent.
This one
Actually,
looks-
now I'm going to check this.
You bought it.
Yeah, I got that 40 whatever it was with the reverse cut. That's unusual to have a cut on the reverse.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired tonight.
Yeah,
Man,
me too.
There's a nice MD on this one.
Yeah, saw that.
Okay, I got a pending payment of $300. And I have
Hey,
320. Okay, good.
hey, Blues, go back up to the right-hand side top head. Okay, go down just a hair. Present yourself, Blue. Or say something.
What?
Okay, there you go. Okay, now go down a little bit. No, you're going the wrong way. I want to see in between the head and truss. See the top of the coin. Okay, I
What?
just saw something there. I saw that line going through. I thought it was something else.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not saying nothing on that.
Yeah, if that had been a quarter, a Washington quarter, it'd have been like an eagle wing, part of an eagle wing from a die class.
Mm.
But it's 24 cents away from being a quarter.
Well, yes, it is.
Well, since you put it that way,
I don't know. I just if I see something unusual, especially in that small little frame down in the panel, you know, that's why I asked for you to,
well, I'm presenting to everyone. Don't you see it
yeah,
all
I
the
see it. Yeah, when you talk, as you're talking and showing the coin, it shows on the big screen. But when you're not talking, I just see it in a little small frame at the bottom. Because I see Frank now
Ah,
in the
get off.
in the big screen. In the big screen, I mean. Oh, CJ's back. Hey, CJ. Yeah, I got your email, mon ami. I sure did. I don't know if you're sending it to somebody else or not, but that was a good try on that one.
I don't know why you're not seeing it on the full screen I'm presenting.
I see it now. When you talk, your screen comes up. Oh, I didn't try that. Okay.
You can go.
Now let me do on Frank. Yeah, it sure does. Thank you, CJ. Just send it back to me, CJ. I thought I put some money in there for you to, ship the two coins back. But if you want, CJ, if you know somebody else, you can send pictures to. That might throw it on their website. There's more than Cuds on Coins. There's a few other people. Oh, Copper Coins. The one that was with us a while back. Oh, I forgot his name. Charles? Wait. Who's Copper
Chuck.
Coin? Chuck. Yeah, Charles. Chuck. Okay. Yeah. He might be. Might if he hadn't seen one, he might put it on his site. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he does die cracks.
Oh, he doesn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen die cracks on his site.
Oh, okay. JC is the only one that lists die cracks like that. I don't think Chuck lists die cracks, only varieties. Oh, I see. Okay, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I threw some cash in that envelope for postage back.
Oh God, just doo doo.
That's not my only die crack neither. I've got another one, but the coin's got some damage on it, and I didn't think it was a very good example. All right, great, CJ. Yeah, you might throw those in a video one day or something. When you make a oddball video or something, you can throw those pics in there.
All right, these mixtapes ain't going nowhere.
I don't know. Hey, look, it only takes one out of 50. Takes one coin out of 50 to have something.
I'm getting stoved up in the chair. Can't get comfortable in it.
Booty.
I got to go. And not for. Be right back.
put something in cereal for dinner. I made myself a couple grilled cheese sandwiches.
Oh man, that sounds banging right now.
I like to overcook the sandwiches so the bread's a kind of like a toasted kind of feel to it,
Oh, there you go.
and then dip it in chili.
Ooh,
Oh
kind
yeah,
of like a tostada.
hey, look, 69S, come on, double die, come on, baby, me.
Come on,
Daddy needs a new car. Oh, what a disappointment. It's like I almost hit the lottery. I just missed it by 5 numbers.
Oh man.
If I don't find anything on these coins, they're going back into circulation. There ain't no reason for me to keep them. And I could free up one of my tubes for something else.
There you go.
Hello, Will Coin. Hey, Blue. I just noticed something. You got 18 watching, 14 thumbs up, and 14 thumbs down. Wow.
Somebody's been busy.
I never saw that before on this channel, on this stream.
Yeah, that
Right.
jerky boy and his buddies have been busy.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen anybody in the any TRs in the
Sure.
chat.
You need to just stop.
Yeah, but hey, that gives a view. That thumbs down is a view. And it's to YouTube, it's a good, I mean, so he's got 30, 16 up, 14 down now. So he's got 30 hits like that. And the
See, this
thumbs
person
down
that's been giving everybody grief lately, I mean, the time is running out that they need to knock their shit off. Sorry, stuff. Because they don't want me to get my buddies on.
YouTube watches for that. The trolls, I mean.
Oh, you can make alts all day long. All you gotta do is create an email account. Boom, you're done.
Yeah.
I really like these Flying Eagles with a 50-cent die flash too. I don't have like a nice Flying Eagle. I've got one over here, but it's good. Cook all over the outburst.
All right. Y'all want to see something pretty neat?
Yeah.
Depends.
Depends. Oh, that's them smelly old diapers.
You know, that could mean a lot of things when somebody says something like that. It's kind of loaded.
You always want to make sure you turn it on. It works a lot better that way.
Oh, congratulations.
Well,
why is this so weird?
I flipped it off because I was coughing.
Oh yeah.
So I turned it off and then I forgot to turn it back on. And is it on now? Yeah, okay. And I forgot to turn it back on. And I was talking. I was carrying on the conversation over here.
Oh, for the lava. Whoa, slow down, Sparky. Let me see. Yeah, nada.
I remember that, Mantic. Didn't you guys carry on for like 20 minutes before you realized that there was no sound? I think Ken did a whole show one night.
Oh, Novus is on. Oh boy. New Kid on the Block.
Well, a new name, Bucket of Fire.
There he is. How's it going, Chuck?
Hello, Copper Coins. We were just talking about
84 Ps? Okay. Well, the tips are don't handle them by the faces, handle them by the edges, and keep your eyes peeled.
I'm just about done with the mixed roll of
Good to hear.
68 through 73 S mint marks.
Whoa. Check that. Okay, let me.
And then I'm going to move on to
All right.
a BU roll of 55 S's.
I would expect you would find all kinds of cracked skulls in that roll.
It's been sitting in a box over here. I don't know. I don't remember if I went through it or not. I have 2 rolls, BU rolls of 55 S's. And the one that
Oh my God, I got it.
and the one that I pulled that progression out of is put away. So this is a different roll of 55s. I don't even remember where I got it from.
Ooh, that reminds me, Chuck. I got to get one too. Almost forgot.
Are you ready for your auction? What? Saw your preview today.
Oh, good Lord. Sometimes those things are just more trouble. I'll just do a buy it now show.
If I did one with my coins, I'd have to call it Dollar Days.
Hey, what's up with that 7?
Smashed.
Okay. Thought so.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. You see the 3 there in the middle point of the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always going to see that little bit of goofiness on it. So don't let it fool you.
It's
I'm
kind of
not
weird.
exactly sure what that is. Maybe a recut or something. Maybe Chuck can tell us, but it's on just about every 73 I've ever seen.
It's kind of weird that 7 is just smashed in that one little bitty tiny area, and the rest of the coin is not.
Goofiness. Yeah, I use it a lot. Let's see. No. That's just thin because of the rim on top.
The lower part of that G caught my eye on the inside. Or the top. The inside part of the G on the top caught my eye.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm not
Right.
seeing that.
That's just weird.
Put a flashlight on it, see if I get a different light pattern.
No, you're not checking the reverses on these either, I noticed.
Now I might save that for another stream.
Oh, okay.
It'll be checking the S mint marks again. Reverse.
Estimates 2, Electric Boogaloo. I need some more juicy juice in my vapor vape. Oh, Cindy. No, I don't. Really?
When I do that roll of 55s, I'll do the reverses on that.
Nice to find a 55 double die.
But I could just put them away.
Some of those are in pretty nice shape that you got there.
Yeah, these
You're
are
always going to want to check the top of that 7 and the top of the 0 too, carefully, because sometimes there's just a little bit of raised metal. That's a double die. I
Yeah.
can't remember which die number, but there are 7.
Well, JC, either you got a 3-legged buffalo on eBay you're gonna take down, or he's crippled and you're gonna shoot him in the head.
Cindy,
what am I missing in chat?
you know my mind is going to go places it shouldn't.
And it's going seen better days.
Hey, let's see that backside there. Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, but even a worn out 1909 SVDB is worth something.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh yeah,
You never know you're gonna find something worn down in a 69 S double die.
There's an SVDB on eBay right now. It looks like it has fire damage for $600.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're never going to get that, but
I want to find a 1910 VDB.
yeah, that would be cool. Excuse me.
They're
Okay,
out
Jason.
there.
That would be very cool. Yeah, you get a coin with a bunch of gunk on the bottom of the reverse, and you take it off, and oh, look at that. What do you mean?
Okay,
But Ken did.
55. Here comes the 55s.
Sickle
These
plate?
are, these are BU, so I got to put a glove on before I touch them. See if I can find a clean one.
Got to do the Michael Jackson.
See if I can find one I haven't used before. There's one. Yeah. See, I got
Annie, are you okay?
a new one. It's pretty.
I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. Oh, wait, she left. Please don't beat it. No.
That's another stream on a different channel.
Yeah, not on camera, anyways.
Yeah, that's a whole different stream on a different channel.
No, that's, put that in the Cones channel or something. Yeah.
All right, go back to the camera.
Oh.
Let's see what these 55s look like.
Second sync. Ooh, I see
Look at
Clash already. There's a Clash under his neck there.
First
Chin.
one I'm looking at is a Clash. Well, ain't that special?
Chip,
Hey, what's up with that 9?
chip.
There's a chip on that 9.
Oops. I thought I was missing something.
Wow, that's a nice one, Blues. That, wait a minute. Let me see that orange rust one more time if you can. Yeah. I don't see any notching, but it's kind of bulbous on the bottom right there. Okay.
Yeah, it looks thick.
And I see that little tiny hook on the E there too.
That W looks thick.
It's not what I thought it was though.
Everything looks thick.
Beautiful
That
coin.
9 sure looked funky to me.
Yeah, that's the die chips. That's such a commonplace for a die chip to form.
Is it? Okay.
Now see the wide, the legs on the top, or whatever you want to call them, the forks. One side is fat and one side's not.
Yeah. That caught
That
my eye.
I would put that aside. Thick model letters are rather normal. Okay, thanks, Chuck.
Chuck said the thick model letters are normal for 55s. Okay.
I'm still looking at that wide. That's super thick.
Yeah,
Put some light source on it.
it is. I mean, it's like Chuck said, a lot of the devices are going to be kind of plump like that. But when I see one side big, one side smaller, that kind of sets off little flags.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Yeah, but that's a BU coin though. So I
yeah,
think
that's
so it wouldn't
that's
have any.
nice.
It wouldn't be like a double, then real fat from wear or something.
Well, the die can still be worn and strike a coin, and
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
have die wear.
Yeah, right, right.
Uh, hmm. That's odd.
What you talking about? That wheat hair that's out of strange position.
Go down to the stock part. Let's see that. No, that's normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that spot on the top of the wheat too.
Look for the
What
bugs.
is that? Is that a dye striation coming from the stalk on the bottom up through the O or something? Was that like a dye striation or?
Could be a flash.
Right there where it doesn't connect.
Right. I was looking at that.
That's normal.
That right wheat hair all the way to the right looks funky.
Yeah, that's normal.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it was like a shadow or something.
See that die is worn there. Well, no, okay. We changed the light.
Yeah.
No bugs.
Yeah, yeah. When the light changed, I saw it. It was regular.
That weakness in the O-in-1 is a very common thing to see as well. Because what ends up happening is as the coin is struck, the metal is going to flow into the empty spaces in the die. And on the opposite side of the O and the 1, there just happens to be the thickest part of the bust of Lincoln on the obverse. So what happens is if the planche is even a little bit underweight, it's going to get sucked up into there, and you're going to have no metal left to strike up the O.
We see that 9 right there looks very normal. That other
Okay,
one
there, Chuck just explained the separation of that wheat line.
disconnect on the inside of the left wheat is caused vibration, polishing of the die, get rid of the clashing marks. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's amazing to have a guy like Chuck in the community here. Invaluable information.
Like I was saying, that 9 there looks normal on that one. The other one looked like it had ported at 9. You know that where the top of the 9 where it comes down. It was missing.
Nope, it was actually a die chip on the one side that made it look thin. That's all.
Okay.
Very, very common. Oh, I think I'm bleeding.
Bleeding?
I'm bleeding. Yeah, I had a mark on my head and I scratched it. And I think I hit an artery. Yeah, I would concur.
Here,
Definitely.
buggy.
Holy crap, I'm gushing here. What the hell?
Ooh. Come on, Buggy. Buggy,
Damn,
no
little
bugs.
plane came through. I had to mute my mic.
No bugs, no bugs.
French sprung a leak, all right. Trying to keep my brains in. Wow, that's interesting. Looked
What?
like States was the S was abraded off, unless the camera angle was just wrong. The first S. Let me see it. Yeah, see that?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
It's gone.
The United Tates of America.
United Tets of America. The Tet do it. Tet do it.
Tates.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's greaser.
Flip it.
Yep, Chuck just confirmed. That's a greaser.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh, yeah,
that's
so
still really, I would definitely put that in a flip, dude. That's just
you can
cool.
see a shadow of the S a little bit.
Yep.
It's
Is that one of
definitely
those $16,000 coins people talk about?
Yeah,
That are in
you
your
find
pocket
it in your
change.
pocket
Yeah.
change.
Give me a break with that crap.
And you can
Potato heads.
find it in your pocket change. Lord, dude. Hey,
You haven't
yeah,
seen
but-
many of those, JC? Really? I find them all the time.
hey, you
I
never
didn't
know
even
what
notice
you're gonna find in your. You never know what you're gonna find in your pocket change during the month of April and until the end of May, more than likely.
I didn't even notice it until Dragon said something.
Yeah, I saw it, but my mic was muted because of that damned old train passing. I'm now about 800 foot from a crossing.
I'm about a little bit more than that, but it's cool. There's a trestle going over the Erie Canal here.
The closest,
Unfortunately, a favorite jumping spot.
the closest trestle to me, back in 2000, we had a major derailment here in town.
Oh, yikes.
Major 128 car pileup derailment.
Hope there was no bad chemicals or nothing on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Ugh.
I mean,
Not
that
cool.
part of town was shut down for like 2 weeks. You know, the railroad company, they put everybody up in real fancy, ritzy motels, free food, gave
Oh,
everybody
nice.
like $5,000 a piece, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, I have got to get this half dime.
Yeah, I gotta rest my brain for a minute on looking at coins.
Maybe.
JC said I saw a 55 double die with the cracked skull. It was amazing. I haven't seen many of those. I haven't seen one neither with a cracked skull.
I haven't seen one without one, to tell you the truth.
Oh, well, I mean, I said, I don't remember.
What's in my head wound?
Oh,
I got boo boo.
I got some more people in here. Let's look at.
Oh, yeah, the new logo design. Check it out, folks. The all-seeing eye. Frank Halftime. Yes, I know. It's AU. It's borderline BU. There's heavy clashing on the reverse. You can see the swirls from the rock on the obverse. It's really cool.
And what I'm thinking about doing is on the inside will be white, but I was thinking about doing like little red lines to represent
Fatigue.
in the eye, and to make it kind of look like an eye. And then the outside, Coin Dragon gave me a site for fractional colors on doing some type of 3D effect on the outside.
No, fractal.
Fractal.
Yeah. Whoa.
And then that will be in a shade of blue.
Son of a fruit fly.
Fruit fly.
Hey, Blue.
Yeah,
Your mic,
yeah,
your
bloodshot
audio is a
eyes.
little low.
I'm adjusting this with my foot.
What was that, Cajun?
Blue, your audio is a little low. It's a lot lower than it was before, about 40-50%.
Yep, sorry. I moved the mic away because if I didn't, then you get to see the wire.
Oh.
I am very sorry.
Testes, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 7 over 8 tail feather Morgan, $49. What happened? It's kind of beat up though.
Oh
Wait, I don't
yeah,
see
that's
you.
right, Cindy, a tear duct.
Still. Oh, I've got to get that. Hey, Cindy, 7/8 tail feathers.
Oh, you looking at something on eBay, Dragon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was looking for something in the chat.
No,
Uh-oh.
he's,
Oh man, not again.
no. Here's the problem with it. He was talking about tail feathers, and I'm over here going, what?
Come on, let me see you shake your tail feather.
Oh,
Shake your booty.
hey, see, I was painting. Of course, I got it all over my shirt.
Oh,
I wouldn't expect anything different.
yeah, it happens. Shirt, face, hands, everything.
Yeah, everything but the wall.
Floor.
No.
Whoa.
What I did tonight is I cut in all the trim while I was waiting for the wallboard compound to dry overnight. I got all the trim cut in.
Oh, there you go. Good idea.
I'm putting new baseboards down, new door frame, plates up.
Hello, Hector. Hello, Hector. How you doing?
Hector. All right, entertain him for a minute. I need some more.
What do you want me to do? Dude.
How's Hector today? What you up to? Somebody said something earlier. Let's see what it was. Oh yeah, Mike White, the bloodshot eye. He was talking about Blue's new sticker logo. Will Coin is back.
Keep dancing. I was entertained. I should call it dancing.
Keep dancing. I was entertained. Never know. He might do us a little jig when he comes back and sits down. I can hear real good.
Oh, what happened to this thing?
I'll try it, bro. You know, my battery was low earlier, Dragon. My battery was going low, so I might have to change devices after a while. I have another
I'm down to 50.
cell phone to get back on, or a G-Pad or whatever, but
Samsung, but Sam couldn't sing, so they booted him out of the band. Get it? Oh, look, I got an altimeter too.
no, Will Coin, actually, yeah, well, yeah, the water's rising high over here. We had over 8 inches of rain in the last 4 days.
Holy crow.
So, yeah, the water's high in certain areas of my area.
Well, according to this thing, I am 736 feet above sea level. And you got to account for 9 floors below me, or 8 floors below me, too.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you 4,000 feet above sea level. You're gonna get flash flooding sometimes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was always a problem when, well, in Texas especially too, with all the
West Texas.
This much topsoil and it's all limestone.
Yeah. The swamp in my backyard is high. Well, where you at, Will? You in South Louisiana? Yeah, I'm on.
You're right on the ground.
I'm only.
Well, you're in
I'm
Florida.
only above. Oh, Will Coin's in Florida.
Plus camera.
Wow, I know where Cindy's at. Well, I knew she was in. Oh, he's in Arkansas. Okay. Will Coin's in Arkansas. You around the Ozarks up in the northeast side of the state,
That's where I'd like to be, to tell you the truth.
in the Ozarks.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Actually, if I had my druthers, I'd be in freaking New Zealand. But
Australia.
Australia, mate.
I love the
No, I'd
accent
go to
over there.
New Zealand, be a Kiwi.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, New Zealand. Yeah.
Did you miss me? I'm back. I've got mail,
Andy, what
yay.
you gonna do a dance for, Blue?
Hey, Copper Coins, I just want to say a quick thank you for your input as I'm looking at these coins. It's always appreciated. Dragon and Cajun already know how I feel about them.
Yeah.
Where's the copper coin? Chuck, where you at?
You're number one, buddy.
Hey, Blue, where's Chuck at?
You bussin'.
Chuck is Copper Coins.
No, where's he at? What state?
Florida.
Oh,
Yeah, I want to say.
okay.
Yeah, I want to say he said he was in Florida somewhere.
Yeah, he says his house is only 6 feet above sea level. I'm like, wow. Well, you know, I'm probably 40 above sea level where I'm at. In South
I like to be
Louisiana.
as far above sea level as possible.
Yeah, I got family in St. Petersburg.
Okay, I know where that. St. Pete, they call it.
Yeah, St. Pete. Yeah, my dad's up there. He's only a couple miles from the beach.
I had a vacation one time. My girlfriend's sister lived in Largo, and we stayed with them for 2 weeks. That was a blast. Went to Clearwater, took a boat ride up the intercoastal there, saw Hulk Hogan's house, and it's pretty neat. What am I doing? I should be on Chuck's site looking at that.
Yeah, see, I didn't even bring up anything, so I know what I need to be looking for. 1955 S.
Let's see what Chuck's got for Woodies.
Search.
Oh yeah, I bought those two.
Oh, see, I didn't even look. And I should have.
Yeah.
I have not been checking the eyelids.
How dare you? I look for them, but I don't look really hard because they're so minor. That's just me, though.
Hey, Cindy, if you like the accents, I had a terrible attempt to try an Australian accent when I did a video up to Richo's Treasure Hunters, Richo's Hunting Treasure. I did a VR for Richo about, I don't know, week and a half, 2 weeks ago, something like that. But that thick Cajun accent I got kind of got in the way of it.
Yeah.
And then I threw in like, hey, I'm in Southern Australia, Louisiana, Australia. You know, I had my Louisiana shirt on, you know.
The Australian Bayou.
You tried real hard, didn't you, Cajun?
Was that Blue?
You tried real hard to justify that, didn't you?
That's great.
Yeah.
My down under Southern back bayou accent didn't quite work.
and then
I'm coming back somehow.
I had put in there, I'm in my spread that I call Belonga Boudreaux instead of Belonga Mick, like Crocodile Dundee. His spread was Belonga Mick. So I threw in my video, I'm in my spread in the bush over here called Belonga Boudreaux. Since that's my last name. So
okay.
Well, that I was born a Boudreaux, but anyway, that was my dad's last name, but it got changed when I was 8 or 9 years old.
All right. I'm glad I looked at Copper Coin site, so I kind of have an idea of what I need to be looking for. I'm only what 3 coins in, but I didn't even know
Maybe.
that was an eyelid problem with them. So now I got another point of reference to look at. Look at it, he's almost smiling at me.
I got a question for you, Chuck. Let me type in the chat.
And since these are nice BU coins, that eyelid should stick out pretty good.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Okay, looks like he got a sty on his eye.
Yeah, and there should be a little piece, little extra piece of metal.
That's a dye chip, I think.
No, that's just his eyelid right there. There
Oh,
should
is
be
it?
a piece of metal sitting in there. Not what you see now. It'll be different.
Oh, okay. I seen it with a different light angle. Okay.
Shit, this is a D.
Yeah, it is. I was fixing to say I thought you were on S's.
Well, shit, I thought I was too. I don't want to look at no D's.
No comment.
I'm going to screw up my whole stream. Okay, there's an S. There we go.
I'm going to keep my mind in neutral there.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see the D's, but
Wow.
yep, and we'll leave it at that.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Now then. Yeah, my head just goes places, you know.
It's almost midnight.
Actually has more and better known varieties of 55. Oh, very true.
I wonder why that hid Frank's comment.
Oh yeah, I've been looking for one of those forever because it's so cool to have a Clash mint mark on the reverse of a wheat set. And I noticed that Chuck's got a couple. Well, there's a 25S, but it's RPM 1. I have one of those. Yeah, I think there's two. The mint mark is clashed on the reverse, right underneath the M of Unum. And it's just so cool. I really like to get one.
Yeah, see, I got to learn how to take good pictures like some of y'all are able to do.
It's all about light, man. More light is better, but you should use shaded light to kill the hot spots, because if you use like a bare bulb, that's where you get all the hot spots on the picture. But if you use shaded light, incandescent is probably the best, at least that I've seen. That's what I use. Okay.
Wish I had a
I thought I
scope
saw
change.
something that was supposed to be with that line above. Put it there. DDOs. 55S. And the island DDO 001.
That right there, that little extra bit above the L, that's a double die, I think. No, it's too pointed. It's usually rounded off. Is it a die gouge? Okay. Yeah, I changed my mind when I looked and saw how pointed it was.
Hey, Frank, you see what I'm showing right there?
Let's see. Let me click on here. Oh, nice toning.
Wait a minute. I'll put it on.
That's some beautiful toning right there.
The wheat
That-
bag.
I am coin dog.
There's a little bit of
I see
toning,
purple.
but this is the most prettiest 54S
That is a cherry.
ever seen. Frank and Blue, if you would see this in person,
That's tasty.
oh man. Oh,
Like
God,
shot
it's
paint.
It's tasty.
almost a perfect
It's a
coin.
peach. Oh God, my back. I was sitting in this guy's wooden chair trying to fix his computers all afternoon. Oh my God, my back is killing me.
And I don't dare handle that coin without gloves.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, let's see what else you got here, Chuck. Use. Yeah, I definitely need some woods. It's a peach.
It's a peach.
Oh, it's a tone.
Oh, wait a minute. He says, yeah, she's a peach. That's how it goes. She's a peach.
Hey, there's the S. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yep.
Hey, voila.
I have an example of each now.
There you go. That's right.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I know, I'm killing myself sometimes.
Yep. Well, I should maybe get a book or two, too.
Frank, where did you get that expression from? You killing me, Smalls? Is that from Harlem Nights?
No, that's the oh God, Sandlot.
Huh?
Or yeah, the Sandlot.
Sandlot?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with
I
that.
think it's Sandlot. It's not
Okay.
Stand By Me. It's Sandlot.
Oh. Okay.
I always get those two confuzzled.
Is
Yeah,
that,
Cindy.
is that where the kids were always playing ball in that?
Yeah,
Okay.
at the Sandlot. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was a
They
good
had,
movie.
It's
Yeah.
a cute movie.
they had a character named Smalls in the movie Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox,
Oh
Lee,
yeah.
and one of the characters in there's name was Smalls. Oh, Arsenio Hall was in it. All the
crap,
major
Rick.
actors. I never seen Sandlot.
Yeah, I've only been, hey, Chuck, I've only been doing this for, 18 months now. So I'll have a tendency to look at something longer than I probably should because it strikes me funny. It just looks funny to me.
Well, if you don't look at it good, then you're gonna, miss out on something.
Come on, Bug.
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
There ain't much for DDRs on these things. But I'm always going to look because you never know.
That's right.
I found a couple recently. 44 and a 36.
God, these are some beautiful coins.
You never know what you're going to pull out of a roll of cents, and you get a lot for your buck too.
Oh yeah, but God, these are some great looking coins.
Oh, there's that fang starting on the 5 there. Unless it's dirt.
I'm not there yet. Hold on.
Hey, CJ's back.
I got a pattern. Go gate around the rim, and then work my way in, where I'm going to forget where I'm at.
Hmm. That scope is fine, Blues. You should be able to take decent pictures with it.
I have a problem with the glare.
Yeah, the hot spots. You just got to shade it a little bit when you take when you take pictures. When you take photography.
See, as it's all shaded in there, but when I add a light to it, then it makes it too much.
Yeah. Well, it's picking up the glare from the bulbs or the LEDs, whatever they are.
Yeah. I might have to go through these coins and really look at them to see if any of them could possibly be a high grade. Gotcha.
Well,
There's polishing marks on this one.
yeah, that was a braiding 101 at the Mint that day. Oh, there's a bug.
I got a bug.
There's a cream for that.
Got a little dye chip. Yeah, just a little dye chip.
Oh, something knocked off the end of that. Well, you got some MD going on there too.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Chuck's gonna want to look at my my penny,
Excellent.
my Lincoln Cent
Oh, cool.
that CJ has.
Yeah, that's some funky MD there.
Yeah.
Oh God.
My little filter at.
All right, folks, I'm gonna hit it. I'm sore and beat.
You gonna hit the hay?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna try at least.
Bon nuit, mon ami.
Okay, you too, buddy. Blues, thanks as always. I'll catch y'all next time. Everybody in the chat, peace.
Yep. Always a pleasure to have you here. See, we gotta get another flip. I gotta get another flip out because that has a nice little dye chip on it.
Well, Blue, it looks like it's just me and you so far.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come in and hang out in Google, speak up.
With JC, why do you want to take that video down on that three-legged buffalo nickel? I mean, that's an interesting nickel. You know, I don't know what you're taking it down off of. I hope you're not taking the video itself down because I'd like to see it. I've got your channel up, but I'll have to watch it, you know, after this stream's over tonight sometimes, you know, or tomorrow.
All right. Next victim.
Yeah, Chuck. Pop on in here. It's on the YouTube community.
Yeah, you part of YouTube Coin Community Facebook page?
That'll just throw him a link, Blue, and then I'll take it down, or you can take it down after he gets on.
No,
I didn't see him answer yet.
I know how to get a hold of him.
Oh, okay. Oh, Chuck said, no clue. Don't think so. Yeah, me too, Mike White. Yeah, Chuck's a good guy. Very informative. Oh, okay, JC. If videos don't get views, take them down. Huh. Well, you know what, JC? I had a video up one time on my gardening and cooking channel about 5 or 6 years ago. And that video didn't take off until 2 months later. And now I'm not calling it viral, but I think it has almost 100,000 views.
Oh,
And it was a video on propagating a fig tree. How to start a fig tree real fast in a month from a mother fig tree.
okay. I sent you a link on Facebook Messenger. Last time I posted in chat, I had a bunch of trolls come in and ruin my stream.
Hey, what's that tail under that U?
Damage.
I see a tail. Oh, it's a scratch. Okay. It looked good though, Blue.
They always look good. They always look good when they flash by the screen.
Yeah. I mean, it looked good, on my end. And usually I show my coins privately. Oh, okay. Well, I can understand that, JC. Oh, wait a minute. I saw something.
All right, I'll go
On the
back to it in a
bottom.
second. How about that die crack right there?
No, go in between the wheat stalks on the bottom.
The die crack right there.
Right here.
Hey, Chuck's here.
How's
No,
it
no.
going?
Right. It was in between on the bottom of the two wheat stalks, I think, or a little more toward the America. Yeah, right. Wait a minute. Go back toward the center of the coin. Go below the America a little bit. I don't
What are we
know.
looking for?
I don't know. I thought I saw something in there, like a clash or something. I might be mistaken.
Clash in that area would be a wavy line going from right to left. It would be the top of Lincoln's head.
Right. I don't know. It went by fast, and I thought I saw something.
I thought I saw it and then it was gone.
How's your day been going so far?
Kind of not so great. I just finished doing a video on 1974 Lincoln Cents, and it turns out that the codec has changed between the version of Premiere that I was using and the Premiere that I'm using now. And when I finished my video, I cannot render it out so that I can post it on YouTube.
Oh my goodness.
So now I have to figure out some other form of rendering that will allow me to post my video to YouTube because I finished editing it. And I spent about 4 hours doing that.
Chuck. Okay.
Yes.
Now, can't you just copy the link from the YouTube and put it on Facebook?
No, this is a matter of actually publishing a video on YouTube.
Oh, no, okay. Facebook has nothing to do with it. Okay.
No.
Huh.
Do you prefer Chuck or Charles?
Chuck.
Okay.
Only the military called me Charles. I'm checking my email now.
Thank you for your service, Charles.
Thank you, sir.
My whole family was either in the Army or the Marines. I tried to get in, but they 4F'd me.
Oh man, these eyeballs always get me.
There's nothing on that one.
It'll be more. It'll be. I mean, it's so small when you look at them. And
You see, Blue, when you moving the coin under your camera, you seeing the actual real time of it. In a video like that, it's kind of like some of it just flashes by.
Yeah.
You see it different than we see it. That's what I meant.
I'm not actually broadcasting through OBS, or I'd be able to bring up my Dynalight scope and show you guys stuff through there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta plug in my earphones. I can hardly hear Chuck.
I can't get OBS to work with Google Hangouts.
Actually, I've never tried.
There's a plugin you can get for it, and then you switch the settings to a virtual cam. Once you're broadcasting on Google, you bring up your OBS and then switch it to virtual cam, and then you could use your OBS and all the settings you got on your OBS.
Okay.
That
I'm
be
still learning. I'm still learning all this broadcast stuff.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's a pain.
It's kind of like having a ham radio license without a license. I haven't figured out how to turn my volume up so you can hear me better.
Cajun's on his phone, and the
Oh, okay.
phones are not that well.
Yeah,
I
but
got
Blue,
speakers
Blue,
for
your voice is a lot louder than Chuck's is.
And I think that may be because of settings somewhere. I kind of wonder whether my boom mic is being used at all, or whether it's just my. Can you hear this?
It doesn't sound like a boom mic.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Can you hear this right here?
I can hear you talking. No, I can't hear you tapping on nothing. No.
Can you hear this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can hear that.
Okay, well then my boom mic is working.
Oh, okay. Oh, Chuck,
Yeah.
CJ sent you a comment in chat that he sent you an email of my coin, some pictures of my coin that Lincoln sent. I was referring to earlier.
Yeah, I've been watching my email and nothing has come across yet.
Oh, okay.
Unless maybe it's in my spam box. Let me check my junk folder and see if it went in there.
What's going on, CJ? What'd you
Oh,
put
wait,
up?
there it is. It just came through.
Okay.
You got some time if you want to work on audio things. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. I want to get through the rest of these 55S's so I don't lose my place on them. So maybe another 10 minutes or so, I should be done. Another one with them. Man, that's a nice crack. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
How
I
far
got
is
a
that?
nicer one in this email here, but I don't know how to show it to anybody.
That's the problem I had too. I couldn't. When I hosted the Q&A a couple weeks ago, I couldn't bring up no photos.
I don't think I have any way of showing my display. If I had a way of showing my display, I could show you my screen. I've gotten so used to using OBS now, I can't really drive anything else.
Yeah, on the Google, on the top left-hand corner,
Yeah.
if you scroll over to the edge, it brings up a little drop box.
Okay.
The one that looks like it's green with an arrow,
Uh-huh.
that's screen share. And if you could get it to work, that'd be perfect because I can't get it to work on my end.
How's this?
I see it.
It's a little blurry, but it's there.
Oh, there you are.
It's
Yeah.
from the rim over the E.
Yeah, it's on the it's from the rim through the E of one,
Right.
goes up into the field underneath the memorial building.
Correct.
This to me appears to be an early '90s Lincoln Cent, but I don't know because I don't have a year date. I
07.
07. Okay.
Yes, sir. Have you seen one in 07 like that before?
No, I haven't.
That
But-
part of the coin? Okay.
No, I've not seen one like this before. But that doesn't mean a whole lot because I don't spend a whole lot of time looking through coins at die cracks. Typically, die cracks, I race right over them because I'm
I see.
looking for the die varieties, looking for the RPMs, the double die, stuff like that.
All right. And CJ says there's a die chip there somewhere in the E.
Oh yeah, this thing down at the very bottom. This little guy down here.
What website would be willing to put that up on their website?
Possibly Cuds on Coins.
No, JC. He it doesn't qualify for his website. He said
I'm
he
not
only
really
does
sure.
reach around.
Hey, CJ, there's a link in the YouTube community page. Or I could send you one on email. Okay. Let's stop presenting him.
Yeah. I figure out how to do this thing here. There we go. I'm back off of screen share again.
Oh, Dragon, you have one just like it in a 07?
All right, CJ, hold on a minute. I'll get this sent out to you. Where is my email? There's my email.
Dragon says he has one almost identical to that. I was just wondering if it was a 07.
Oh, we're looking at me again.
Sorry, hold on.
Oh, it's all good. You just saw me take a big swig of my coffee.
Chuck, I have a question for you
I hope I have an answer.
on die rotation. When the Lincoln Memorial is about on the left side of the Lincoln, as you're looking at the coin, if it's about 15 degrees up, what degrees is that? Is that like 165, 170?
Here.
Well, 165, 170. Are you talking about where you almost have a metal turn on the coin? Or are you talking about where you have a coin flip turn?
Well, no, when you flip the coin like you're supposed to, and the memorial is supposed to be straight across like that, okay, like this. Okay, on the as you looking at the coin, the memorial is going to be up about like that.
Okay, you're talking about probably a 15 to 20 degree rotation.
Yeah, but is it? I know it's 15 to 20 out, but okay, like on the right side of the coin in mathematical rotation, 0 starts at east.
Right, then you would subtract 15 to 20 degrees from 360. So you're talking about 340 to 345.
Well, it would be on the left side, so 180 would be on the left.
180
this
is
would-
straight down.
This would be like at 165, I think.
180 degree rotation would be perfectly upside down.
Okay.
Here, let me.
Yeah, it's confusing.
I found this, and it site was that from?
Yeah,
It's
you're showing
rotated
zero.
die.
You're showing 0 degrees at north.
It's a rotated die. .50webs.com site.
Okay, clockwise. So I'm at, my coin is going to be at
I don't know.
75, 60. Mine's going to be between 60 and 75.
That's not a good one because that one don't show.
Now, that is, of course, if the top is pointed toward the 60.
Yeah.
So right there, it's pointed normally. That would be 0.
Right.
But then if you take the coin and you turn it sideways, then you'd be looking at 90 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. That'd be a 90-degree clockwise. So it's wherever the top is pointed to, not the alignment of the sides of the memorial building.
His left side.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, sorry, I hit the paper. His left side.
Yes, JC, that is my new mic.
So you're saying that you always go through the center of the coin
Yes.
like that.
Right. Right there, you're looking at about a 20-degree rotation.
Okay, and then it's either clockwise or counterclockwise rotation.
Yes. I was taught to do it differently than this shows. This shows you as a number of degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. I was taught to do it just like a compass. So you've got the 0, the 90, the 180, the 270, and then back to 0.
Yeah. See, I don't know if what I found, I don't know if this is accurate when you're figuring out die rotations.
Well, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but at least you're going to get some idea from it. Basically, a modern coin needs to be rotated more than 45 degrees in one direction or the other for it to have any extra collector value as an error coin.
Okay. So when it's showing 15 degrees clockwise, if it's counterclockwise, that's correct, 15 degrees.
Correct. Yeah, you'd be 15 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise.
Okay.
Either way, you're not going to have a coin that's going to have any added value because of the rotation.
Okay.
Your rotation is going to have to be more than 45 degrees off in one direction or the other to have any premium value.
Okay. Yeah, because I found this, and I'm going to shrink it down. So basically, I could put $50 in it and then have this circle closer. So it just makes it easier to read. I kind of printed out a little large.
Well, there is another way to do it. You can actually take a 2x2 with a window, and you can draw the compass on both sides of the 2x2. Basically, shrink it down, cut out the center. Then you can put your coin in the center and align it on one side, and then hold it shut and flip it over, and you'll see what you've got on the other side.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You just put one of those on either side of the flip.
Yeah. If I could get that shrunk down and get it cut out where it works properly, maybe I could just make a whole bunch of these up and just send them to people so they have it.
That would work.
We got into a good conversation. What was it, a couple weeks ago, Cajun? We were talking about this, and 3 different people were talking about it, and almost 3 different answers. So the stream, it got confusing. And I think it got confusing to the point we didn't know what we were doing anymore. See, where is that site? Hold on a minute. Let me bring that site up. So I can put it in chat so people could see it. T A T D D I E S rotated .50 web.com. I think that's it. God, bring up nothing.
What's up, Lucy?
What's going on, CJ?
Hey, Chuck.
Hi there.
Okay, there it is.
Deep Blues, what you're talking about is something that I would like to have in a 3D print format, so that you take your coin in a flip and just put it into this. I'll call it a cradle, for any denomination, and have all of those marks so that you could easily just flip it back and forth, or have a mirror on the opposite side and be able to tell how much it's rotated.
Yeah, having something like that's going to be very helpful because, like I said, we were discussing it, and it. Cajun, your battery go dead?
Yeah, his battery went.
Okay, he's in the chat now. Yeah, it got real confusing that night, and I think it got to the point where we all left the stream and we're pulling our hair out, going, "What?"
Well, and that would be, that cradle or whatever, because I think Ken Schumer and I were talking about it too, about having something 3D printed, because if I could design it in 3D printed, that it would be big enough that it could fit every single denomination in it. As long as it fit in a 2x2 and they all fit in a 2x2. So you could just have that in your coin or in your flip, set that thing in the cradle, and then it would be any denomination, and the markings would be correct so that it could fit anything.
Would it be kind of like a hard plastic case with a 2x2 hole in it that would fit a 2x2 with a coin inside the 2x2 straight up and down? Then you flip it over and you look at the compass on both sides.
Basically, yeah, that's
Okay.
the idea.
All right, got it. That makes a lot of sense.
And it would be really easy for me to 3D print. I mean, it would take like maybe a half an hour to print these things out, and they would be set up in a way where the front of it is like a jig. The front of it is tiered, so that you could put any denomination from penny all the way up to Eisenhower, and just set it in there, and then you could just flip it back and forth and see if it's off any.
Well, since most of my dealings in life have been with pennies, I took a penny size flip one time and just marked with a pen on both sides very carefully all the different directional markers. I think down to 10 or 15 degree differences, and I kept that for years and used it for years. And then I got tired of looking for rotator reverses.
Well, I don't blame you.
Because I was finding a whole lot of them that were 5, 10, 15 degrees off. But you have to have 45-degree rotation for it to have any value.
Well, I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just what I remember. I remember reading, I believe, that plus or minus like 6 degrees, I want to say, is within tolerance for the mint.
I would think so. That sounds about right.
It's something right in there. So if it's some kind of like minor rotation, then I wouldn't even see it.
Right, exactly. That coin right there looks like it's from the same die as one you looked at earlier, because the inside wheat line on the left side is blurred away, exactly like the other one was.
Yeah, I've come across a couple like that. What's going on, Lincoln? Sorry, your battery was dead, Cajun. Yeah, CJ, having something like, if you could come up with a plan or something like that, I know I'd be interested in buying one.
Yep, it's been on my list for about a week.
Yeah,
my list of things to work on. I mean, the concept of it is really not that hard. Just getting all of the little tick marks about like how many, at 15 at each of the 15-degree marks, or like what's the lowest, what's the lowest to go? Be like 10 or 15, and have those hash marks around, and have like longer marks for like, the 12 o'clock, the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock for the big ones.
Well, I know if you do 15-degree spreads, you'll have an even number of spreads going all the way around.
Yeah.
I know that because of time zones.
So I can do 15.
Every time zone represents roughly 15 degrees of longitude around the globe, which is 360 degrees total.
So 15 would work.
15 will work great because 2 15s is 30. Yeah.
Another one is 45. Yeah.
Right. And 3 of
15
those is
degrees.
90. So,
Yeah. Where's my notepad? I lost it. Oh, I think it's over there.
You'll be back in a bit once you get some juice in your phone again.
Okay.
Cool. Appreciate it, Lincoln. This works out pretty good. We could always carry on the conversation about something as I'm doing the looking.
Hey Chuck, if you don't mind me asking, the time period between 97 and 2003, where there is a bunches and bunches of minor DDRs with the columns. I've gone through and attributed a bunch of them, but I have some that I can't find any listings for.
okay.
As minor as they are, what do I do with them?
Probably toss them back out into the wild.
All right.
There's a large number of them that we never did anything with or never listed because we ended up having to make a rule of what was too minor to bother with. And if it didn't cover half the length of the top of the head to the bottom of the feet of the little Lincoln statue, we didn't even bother listing them.
Half the length from the head to
the bottom of the statue, like basically from the floor to the top of the head. If it didn't cover at least half that length, then it wasn't worth listing.
That's good to know.
Now, Wexler, on the other hand, would list pretty much anything. But we got to a point where it was like just ad nauseum. Who's going to bother looking up a particular die when you've got 62 different die listings and markers remain relatively the same for all of them? This is supposed to be a fun hobby.
Right. Yeah, I was looking at it as, I know just the amount of minor DDRs in that time frame. Like, is it even worth putting together, or am I just burning time?
Yeah, you're burning time.
All right. Well, that's good because right now I got lots of time.
There you go. It's kind of, I mean, there's a point that you go to with anything, and then it becomes a tiresome chore rather than fun.
Right.
And you have to make sure that what you're doing remains fun. And if you feel like it's becoming a tiresome chore, then change your rules. Oh, you can change your rules and you can shift your paradigm and make it whatever you want it to be. And the way that I was looking back in the beginning of listing things on Copper Coins was I was trying to get everything listed that you could see with a 10x loop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem with that is that there would be 10,000 different double dies if there were. Bill Fiva, a friend of mine, goes back and talks about fly spec numismatics. And he says, if you really get into looking at absolutely everything on everything, you're going to end up driving yourself nuts. And that's why the Cherry Picker's Guide only has the best of the really major stuff. And I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago about the 2019 double dies, and I had a conversation with him, and we kind of enlightened each other, but we didn't really get anywhere with it. So I guess that's par for the course. But I discussed with him listing the 2019 double die that's got the really extra thickness in Liberty.
Yeah.
And I see that as a major double die. There's also one in 2014 where the date is extremely doubled. And he doesn't see those as being worth listing because there's not any defined separation in the doubling. And I told him, well, you're never going to see another double die with defined separation in the doubling simply because of the method of making the dies these days. They use one squeeze to make the dies instead of multiple squeezes. And I guess his idea on that was that then maybe we're finished listing double dies because these don't have enough character to really bother. And I kind of disagree with him simply because we still want to continue proliferating the hobby and continue finding stuff. But to what end do we find stuff to collect?
Right.
It's kind of an enigma. It's a question that doesn't really have a good answer. But for me, my rule ended in like minor repunchment marks and minor double dies. It ended with the idea of if I cannot easily photograph that and I have to twist and turn and hold my tongue a certain way just to get a good photograph of it, I'm not even going to mess with it.
Right. That makes sense.
And I think there's a lot of people who share that particular thought. Is that, with it, I'm not naming any names, but anyone who lists everything that there is possible to be listed is only making collecting a set more difficult on people who are trying to get something that's neat and looks nice. There's a couple of good sized die chips on that.
Yeah, there is. More bugs.
A
Yeah, put some mirrors on and call it Bugs Bunny.
couple of bugs in the wheat.
You need to get that field sprayed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you got bugs in your wheat, man, you don't get a good crop price for it.
You still looking at 55S?
Yes, sir.
Do you have others to move to?
What?
Other date mint mark? You have other 55Ds or anything?
Let me see what I got. We changed the camera so I can say hi to everyone. Hi.
Hey. Cajun Coin Hunter says, yes, I agree. I told a friend of mine if I have to look at an error with a 200x scope, then it's too small of an error to keep, albeit a valuable error or minor. That is true. Now, generally with errors, if they would fit in a normal roll, they're not worth much. Errors would generally have to not fit in a normal roll to be worth much. Like a large brockage with an indent or something to that effect.
Or like a struck through die cap.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly. Something that should not be able to exit in a roll. Hey, those are kind of cool.
That's another
Yeah.
yes.
So I was going to show you these. I found the specs for almost all of the dies from the mint. So the only one I'm missing is the $50 one. But using pictures from the Mint's website, I was able to basically reverse engineer the dies going from blanks down to the hubs, and then the dies before they're machined, and then the dies after they're machined.
Okay.
So, and with the thought process that, if we have something like these to show like the difference in minting errors that like struck out of collar, or all these other ones that I don't really have, like I can't find any pictures of, or I can't find any video of, like the I'm trying to think of a good. There's misaligned die, and that's one thing, but then there's like struck out of collar or like a broad strike. or like to explain what happens with the 96, like the 96D lathe lines. You know, something like this would be the perfect example. It'd be like, you know, this is what it looks like when they lathe it, and then when they press the image, you know, they still have the lines left in it, and then when it gets down to the coin, those lathe lines are still left.
Okay.
Thinking about tools, you know, like this to help explain those things that I can't find anything on. Is there anything else that you can think of, like along the lines of this, that can be, you know, produced as a tool to help explain these things?
Well, I mean, there's one major piece missing that I see there is that you have one die, and the one die would probably be a hammer die. You also need an anvil die
Right.
because there's both dies that are used simultaneously to create coins, of course, and then you've got the collar between them.
Yeah. This
With-
is just a process of making a one die. You know, to explain the difference between a hub and a die, and then the machine die.
Okay. All right. Well, in the effect that you're trying to show what for instance, what a broad struck is, you would need a mechanism that has a collar and has two dies to show what happens. You have to have like a reeded collar. That way, if you put a little piece of clay in there and smash it down, you would see that the clay is stopped by the collar,
Mhm.
and you can see the reeds. Whereas if you don't have a collar and your die is stuck in an up position, you put a planchet between the dies and you strike the die without the collar, then you're going to turn out a pancake, basically, which is broad struck.
Right. And that's kind of what I was thinking. I was trying to find. I am in the process of creating something where I could put basically two of these dies into an effect a frame,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to actuate these with the collar in between to show exactly what you're talking about, is to show if the collar is, you know, stuck up, and or if the die is stuck up and the collar is not, you know, not in its right position, then when you have the hammer die coming down, then there's nothing to stop that coin from spreading out. So I'm trying to build something to actually show errors like that, because right now there's nothing that I can't find any. I can find pictures of the coins
Mhm.
on what they look like afterwards, but there's nothing to show like a picture of, you know, like if they had a blockage, or something, and somebody went in there and took a picture of that there's nothing to show that. It's only just explained, which is fine, but some people, you know, need to see it visually to really grasp that understanding.
Well, to some degree, in order to have effective visual aid, you would have to have material that would behave the same way that the actual things behave. And so, using are these what, polymer? Is that
Yeah, it's PLA.
okay? Using that with clay can only give you a certain amount of result that you can teach with.
Right.
Beyond that, you're going to find it rather difficult to make clay behave like a coin so that you can get it to strike up like a coin would in example. And so, you know, for instance, like a clipped planchet, you're not going to get the proper Blakesley effect because you're not upsetting the edge of your clay planchet.
Right. Yeah, I know that.
So, I mean, basically, I mean, that's a very basic example, but I'm saying that you're going to have some difficulty in your material making errors happen by example using non-metallic items.
Yeah, I know. But at least with something like with this setup, that we can to hopefully explain how dies are made, and that if I had something to that I could, you know, put two of them together with clay or something and a collar, that we would be able to show, you know, to show these errors happening.
I can see a minting machine of some sort made out of Legos.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, just something, because like there's nothing out there.
I think
A
that it
rectus
wouldn't be very difficult to conjure something up and put it together that would allow us to use these tools to show how minting works, just like they're intended, but to show how errors come out may be quite a bit more difficult.
I was just playing around with ideas because
I
you
I
know,
love what you've done there. I mean, it's very nice. But as I'm thinking about things like bonded mated coins, struck through die caps.
oh yeah, there's no way that this is all inclusive. Absolutely not. But
Yeah,
like
it would be difficult to recreate the process of making coin monsters like that using any material other than coining dies and coin material.
yeah, but as far as stuff like the struck out of collar, because that seems to be a big one that people
Right.
don't quite understand, the broad strikes, it just is things like that we can say, here's that process,
Right.
and that could be its own video so people can can really understand, like, there's a difference between a broad strike and a coin that just got crushed in a vice.
Yes.
And there are certain things that you can look at if you understand the actual process.
For sure.
And I think that understanding is deficient.
And I think just using that die tool and then using that hub tool, you can explain the difference easily between doubled dies and machine doubling.
Yes.
And those are the biggest humps to get people over. Because
Yeah.
a lot of these monster errors, weird things that happen, it's not too hard to kind of imagine how these things could occur.
Well, and hub doubling too, because if the hub is doubled, then every single die that is made from that hub is going to have the same doubling.
Yes, to an effect.
Yeah. I'm thinking of all this stuff because if I can replicate it in 3D, then I can print it.
Yeah. Well, the one to the far left, the conical shaped die blink, shows people very, very quickly and very easily why a lot of the different double dies that you see affect chiefly the central area of the design of the coin.
Because it's hitting here first.
Yep, simply because it's mashing that part of the die down first, and then when it snaps into place, or when they bring it back for a second hubbing and reseat it into the die press, then it isn't the same, and so you've got the center of a design that's more doubled than other parts of the design, and that's why.
Like all of the 97 and 2003s, all of the minor double dies happen right in that seventh column,
And it's believed that all those occurred as the result of the die or the hub, most likely the die, not being seated properly in the press when the hub starts to squeeze. And it squeezes down with such force that it snaps the die into place, which slightly moves the design. And that causes those double dies. But that still doesn't answer for why my 2019 P die number 1 is so strong. So we still have questions to be answered. I'm still thinking there's a form of distended hub doubling that's still happening, which shouldn't be able to happen.
Right.
But there are a lot of things that we're not going to get any concrete answers on because the Mint doesn't want us knowing these things.
Or the Mint doesn't know.
or they don't know. That is true. There are coin people out there that know more about what the Mint does than the Mint does.
But if you come across, anything that we can do like this, I'm all for, replicating it and 3D printing it. I had designed all these, and then since I already knew the specs for this one, which happens to be the quarter die, then I realized that, well, wait a minute, this is just the same face as this. So then I adjusted the size. So these should be like dang near 100% accurate.
Okay, so I'm going to number them so they're easier to talk about from left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So number 3 is an anvil die. It's a bottom die. Number 4 is a hammer die, an upper die. Correct?
Let's see.
One that
The
says
way that
point.
I took it is that when they first make the die, it looks like this, and then after it's machined, it looks like this.
Okay.
That's the way I took it from pictures,
Okay.
but maybe that's just me.
Well, I've always known that, I mean, there was something about the keys on the die and how the die is shaped and the size of the die as to why you can't put two obverse or two reverse dies together in the same machine at once.
Oh, okay.
And I took it that the actual shape of the dies or the actual um, the size of the dies as they would fit into the machine are totally different from one another to make it impossible to mint both sides of a coin with one design.
That makes sense. Because I know as far as the specifications, they have a flat space on
Right.
one side of the die where to prevent it from turning.
Yes. It's like a cotter key.
Yeah. So
And
I have that, but I took these from pictures. Like I had all of these specifications, but then I took these, basically I reverse engineered them from pictures from the mint where they have that picture of the stock of like the round bar stock, and then they have these laid out on the, I don't know if it's like a display table or like, I don't know what to call it. But I just reverse engineered these, knowing this one from those pictures. So, but basically, you would have this same process for obverse and then reverse.
I very much like what you've got there. That's probably one of the better representations of minting dies I've ever seen that actually have designs on them that could be used for something.
I'm trying.
You're doing a good job of it. I'm good at the 2D stuff. You're good at the 3D stuff. We'll leave it that way. I don't mess with 3D art.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm very good at building stuff in 3D, and then my 3D printers, helps me take that to another level where I can basically just print it out after I have it designed,
Right.
and it makes things so much easier.
That's pretty awesome. So what are all your stacks up there? Is that just your pocket change you're going through?
Yeah, I just finished going through some boxes. So I got one silver 1944 Philly in the last box. I got some 2009s. Then I got some other ones that I need to look at because there's something different with them.
Yeah. The good old days back when I had time to do that.
Right? Yeah, but if you think of anything else like this, then just let me know because I'm pretty good at reverse engineering. I think this whole process, as far as like these, took me about a night to do.
Yeah.
So in like 6 hours.
So what's cost on something like that? Are they expensive to make?
Oh no, stupid cheap.
Oh, really?
Stupid cheap. Yeah, I think these take, how long do these take? Like 45 minutes to print out each one.
Well, I could draw something up that would work with number 4 there, the machine down die.
Yeah.
I could draw something up that would work as a 2-piece collar that goes around the edge of that so that when you put a piece of clay in there, it retains. And then when you put a piece of clay in there and mash it without that, it would not retain, which would show you your difference between a normal strike and a broad strike.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll take it.
I can think of that sort of thing.
I just like I have 2 or 3 or 4 pictures of of basically a view into the actual strike chamber, and I'm basically trying to rebuild the strike chamber just off of pictures,
Now,
and that's
as to getting
hard.
something size and shape to spec, I wouldn't be able to do that because I don't know what the specs are, but I could pretty easily get you something that would give you the result of what you're looking for.
Yeah, like yeah, just anything, because if I have something where I know like the size, like I know for sure what the size on, on this die is, um everything except for the $half die. So then I was able to, to figure out and reverse engineer the rest of these using, known elements. So I know I have a picture of, it's basically I'm going to call it the chuck where the die sits in, that has the collar in it,
Okay.
because it's like a three-piece collar or something that sits on top of the um the die.
Yeah, the anvil die.
And so I was trying to, basically build one to sit over it, and I can put together like a one piece pretty decently. But then, like, yeah, like it's gonna take me a couple days. I know that, but I already have the idea of how the bottom is built. I just don't know how to put that together with the top, because I don't know what the top looks like, because it just looks like that there's a die sitting there.
Yeah. I don't know. We could work something out. We figure something out.
Hey, CJ.
Sure.
Cajun asked, didn't you make a collar for Ken?
I did make a collar. It's this one right here, but this is a collar for his die faces that I made him. That's specific for those. So basically, if this was, shrunk down, then the collar would sit right here. So it would only be down far enough where basically you have just a little lip inside here, and that is the space where the coin sits, and where the hammer die comes down on top of the anvil die. Now it's the same concept, only there is, a piece that's about that big,
Mm-hmm.
that sits down in this big chuck piece. And again, that it only comes up, like the way that it sits is it only comes up like, like a 16th of an inch. Like there's only just a little lip for that, but I don't know how the die fits into this chuck. What it looks like is that the chuck is a container. I need more toys. The chuck is a container. The die sits in, inside of it, and then the collar sits in over the top and gets screwed down into the chuck, so that basically that one piece goes into the machine and locks down in place. That's what I've been able to infer from pictures.
And both of those slide over the die because the die actually has a cam underneath it that lifts it and pulls it back down.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You've got, it's basically, imagine a hole in a table, a hole in a flat table. Your die countersinks below the surface of the table for the planchet to fall into that hole so that it
Yes.
can be minted. And
Yes.
then the cam raises the anvil die back up, and a feeder finger comes by and scoops the coin out of the way.
See, that makes a lot more sense.
That's kind of how it works. I have no idea exactly what it looks like, but if you watch the mint video, especially the one on West Point and minting proof coins at West Point, you'll see that their machines actually go a lot slower, and they stamp the coins 3, 4, 5 times to get a better design. And if you watch the one at the Philadelphia Mint, that thing's flying like nobody's business. I mean, you're doing 5 coins a second, 10 coins a second with those. But if you look at the video of them doing proof coins at the West Point Mint, um, it's it's very telling of how the process works. It actually shows them pulling the coin or pulling the planchet into the hole and then pushing it back up using the anvil die.
So this, oh, I gotta keep that up. So this picture is where one of the pieces that I am like building, like there's like the small press piece that holds the die in place, and then that big piece that it sits into is like this big chuck. So there's that picture, and then the other one that I was trying to that's a different one.
You see, to me, that looks like a big pressure cooker. I'm not a machine person.
Is
I'm an art guy.
this one right here
That's cool.
where I'm looking at, so all these lines that go across, I figure are the feeder fingers.
Scraping across it.
Yeah.
That could very well be.
So these three pieces in the middle with the triangle pieces are the collar.
That is the color, yes.
Okay. So yeah, what it looks like is that this collar piece, like I don't know, like I figured that these are like bolt pieces that are pressed against or some kind of whatever that hold the collar pieces in place.
Yeah, I really don't know what that whole mechanical structure is around everything, but the three pieces are the collar, and then the die in the center is not attached to any of the rest of that. Underneath the die, there will be a cam that, just like an engine, it lifts it up and down, just like a piston.
Right.
It'll lift it down. And as it lifts it up, the feeder finger comes and scrapes the coin out of the way, and then it goes back down, and the feeder finger throws a planchet in the hole, and the die is pressed together. Then the anvil die pops back up, and the feeder finger scrapes the coin away, and all that happens inside of a split second.
Right. Yeah. So basically, it's these two pictures where I'm taking where I know what the dies look like and how how they kind of function. Excuse me, and being able to reverse engineer all of this, from like I know, the size of that die,
Yeah,
and then to be able to build everything else around it, just so that we have, even if it's not the entire chuck piece, even if it's just the collar, around it, there that we could show, the anvil die, go, oscillates up and down. And when it drops down, that creates the space inside the collar for the planchet to drop into. That's where the hammer die comes down and then strikes it. And then when it comes back up, the anvil die comes up, and then the feeder fingers come in and grab the edges of the coin and pull it out of the way.
yes.
All right.
And you'll also see, I've actually seen a couple of examples of where feeder fingers were struck by the dies. And so you'll end up with a piece of a feeder finger that's got a coin design on it.
That would be kind of neat.
I've seen a few of those. Fred Weinberg has had those in the past. That's another good resource for you. Fred is always good to talk with people about, how things occur, how errors occur and stuff. He's always a good resource. So don't forget about him. Fred at fredweinberg.com.
How do you spell Weinberg? W-E-I-N?
Yeah, Weinberg.
I'll put that in my notes. But it's, but it's this kind of stuff that, like, if nothing else, it helps me to understand, like, how it all works, because that is the biggest thing, for that. If I understand how all this works, then that's the background that I need to go to, this piece and how this gets, you know, or technically this one, how this one gets doubled is because the hub comes down and it gets shifted just a little bit. You know,
Right.
whether it's rotated, whether it's like, just offset or whatever, and that's what causes the double dies. And all the coins that double die strikes, that's what we see on the coins.
Well, there's also been continual question about double dies and whether or not we're talking about a double die as the effect of the doubling, or however the doubling appears, and then the cause of the doubling. You can have a cause and effect. You can have two different causes create the same effect. So is that all one class of hub doubling, or are we talking about the two different causes being two different classes of hub doubling? I'll give you an example on that. The 1984 doubled ear doubled die is a class 4 offset hub doubling. Basically, the hub was moved to the north, south, east, or west between hubbings on the die, and that creates doubling in the design. But the new double dies that we've got, the ones that you were explaining with the columns, those
Class
are
8s.
no, well, some people want to call those class 8, but I do not believe they're class 8, which is why I created a new class 9, that will help explain these. Because the class 4 was done using two separate hubbings, but these things were created using the same hubbing. So it's all one hubbing and the die snaps into place, doubling the design. Whereas with the 1984 and the 1997 and the 1939 DDO number 1, other ones like that, they were created, the doubling was created using two completely separate hubbings, which means the die was taken out of the press and put back in the press. So are we talking about cause or effect? Because if it's effect, then those could easily be class 4 doubles. But if we're talking about the class 4, we know was taken out of the hubbing press and put back in the hubbing press, and that's why you have doubling on the die, which can't happen now because they don't take them out and put them back in.
Right, because it's a single squeeze.
Yes.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong. So the reason why all of those 97, 98 to 2003s, those minor double columns, is
Uh-huh.
because the hub is actually doubled, not the dies.
That's not true. The truth of the matter on that is that the hub, pull your conical die over a little bit there. The hub comes down on that, and it's not aligned, completely plumb.
Right.
And as the hub comes down onto it, it snaps into place. And when it snaps into place, that doubles your design
On the hub.
on the die. So take your hub, put it up on top of that cone, and then start pressing downward. And then what happens is when you start pressing downward, that cone snaps, and it snaps into place.
Oh, okay.
And your hub
Right.
continues to press the design into it, thus doubling the design on the die.
Okay. So
it works
this
about the same way as class 4.
this in effect is kind of that this same thing goes to a hub as goes to a die.
Well, that cone becomes the die.
Right. It can be the hub or it can be the die because these are made the same way.
It can be, yes.
Okay, there we go. That's
Because ahead of
I
your
was
time, the master-
thinking linearly.
Yeah, no, it's not necessarily. It's more of a pyramid.
Okay.
Because you'll have one master die that looks like your die there that will
Right.
create a number of hubs.
Number of hubs.
And then you have a number of hubs that create even a larger number of working dies.
Working dies. So you have does
But
it
the
start off
ceiling piece in the beginning is all the cone shape.
right? Because this becomes whatever.
Right.
Okay. There we go.
But I know that the dies for your anvil and for your hammer are going to be different based on the type of press it's on. The Schuler presses use one type, and the other presses use a different type. And I have seen dies that look like what you've got way over there on the far right, with the one that says coin. But
Yeah,
I've also seen dies that have a large, thick donut plate looking thing at the bottom of them, and it's the largest round piece of the entire thing.
for those.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at the specs of them die, and these only look like that they appear on the smaller denominations. When you get to some of the bigger ones, the dies that I found look like this.
So I guess maybe that could be an adjustment piece so that it fits in a hole of a particular cam,
Interesting.
and that it doesn't have any functional use other than that. I'm not really
Well,
sure.
but then again, I'm missing the $50, so I don't know what that one looks like.
I know another guy who knows a lot about the minting process because he's been inside the mint a number of times. I could talk to him and see what he knows about the shape of dies and about specs on dies and stuff. I could also talk to Bill and see if Bill could get a hold of anybody at the mint who could help you out.
Because this is a nickel, and this is two spec.
Okay.
Because I put all my things in one. So there are the dimensions, the specs that I pulled from known dies,
Okay.
and the top like flat part
Uh-huh.
can be like adjusted up and down because these are taken from what do you call them? Ground dies, canceled dies.
Right.
So, but the overall shape, these are two spec what those dies are. So the penny, diamond, and nickel have that.
The shaft diameter is the same for those all three of those denominations, and they've got that larger plate at the bottom,
Right.
which is also the same size. And then you get
So-
much larger. 41 millimeters probably covers the quarters, the halves, and the dollar coins.
That's what I'm assuming.
And
But I don't have the $50 to confirm.
there has to be something different for the full eagles and the silver eagles and the old silver dollars and silver dollar, the silver dollar commemoratives,
Right.
because those are larger than 41 millimeters, or they're not larger than 41 millimeters, but they're not much smaller.
Yeah, the Morgans are 38. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're not much smaller.
Right. A 38 millimeter dollar is going to be really hard to do with a shaft that's 41 millimeters across.
So, but so I have all of those dies already done, like, and I can custom print them too with like serial numbers and the whole 9 yards, the serial numbers and the keyways in them. Just because I don't know, I can.
I'll take one obverse and one reverse of a full gold eagle made completely to spec with the proper design in it, made of steel. Thank you.
I think somebody might have
Somebody might have a little heartburn about that.
yeah, a little bit.
I'll do it with a Buffalo Reed count. That way we'll know which ones aren't real.
But because I'm all about like making these things so people can play with these hands on. Like I did an entire set for Robert Lawson over at CoinOp.
Yeah.
And obviously again minus the $50, just so that he's got something to play around with, because they are really neat to have a hands-on tool that if you ever come across something where you need to explain it, or even if it's just like yourself, you can say, hey, this when it's done pressing, then that's what you get, that, and then this becomes this, and just the entire process.
Can you sample a design, make it like much larger than normal? Let's say you take a 19 millimeter cent design and turn it into a 2-inch design. Can you do
Close.
that and sample the design so that you can create a hub that you can actually kind of give an example of a full, like a class 5 or a class 1, the rotated hub doubling. With these particular pieces that you've got with the words on them as they are, it makes it more difficult to actually show real doubling because you don't have the lettering that goes around the circumference of the design.
I do have an example that I sent Ken that is a class 1 that I actually took, like a flat face, and I took the design and then I basically copied it and rotated it a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's in Cuse in the face. But so I've been able to do a class 1. I just have not spent any time to replicate any other ones.
What I was thinking actually were hubs with a little more intricate design, so that the hub could be used into clay or into talcum powder or something to show what happens during a class 1 doubling, show what happens during a class 5, show what happens during the class 4.
I have a couple that I sent to Ken
Okay.
PV. He's got
And then
some.
for class 3, you would have to have two different designs. So like capital letters and lowercase letters or something.
Okay.
And then for class 7, we're not even sure class 7 really ever existed to begin with. And class 8 is it's pretty simple with what you've got there. You just tip it over to one side and you only mash into one part of the design along the edge. Because that's
Yeah,
what
like if I was
is.
when we're talking about misaligned dies, that's where I thought that this stuff would come in great because, I can show put these in my machine and, it's exaggerated, but I can say, look, this is your misaligned die. And since it's hitting your anvil die flat, that's why that when it's offset like that, there we go. That you have that fat side of the coin only on one side, and it only affects one side of the coin because it's only that one side that is misaligned this way.
You take that idea that you just said right there and you turn that into a hub and a die, and you have class 8 hub doubling. That's exactly how tilted hub doubling happens. Is that you're pressing the hub into the die that's not completely in flush, and you only get one arc of the edge of the design to go into one hubbing, and then it corrects itself, or you correct it, and then the next hubbing you're doing a normal design where it belongs.
Okay.
That's why I don't believe class 8 hub doubling is possible on the newer in the newer die presses. And also I don't think it's possible near the center of the design, even with the conical shape beginning, because all class 8s that had been listed 15 years ago were all along the edge of the design. I don't know if you're familiar with a lot of them, but the
like the L on Liberty.
Yes,
like that little
there's a 1964 where the word "in" is doubled, and that's just about the only thing doubled on the coin. Those are class 8, and that's, I mean, the 1972 DDO number 9 with the extra little tail on the edge of the 2.
Yeah,
that's also class 8. So those are all tilted hub doubling. And so I don't understand how anyone could even say that the doubled columns in the center of the memorial have anything to do with tilted hub doubling. It doesn't cause, you don't have the same effect, nor do you have the same cause. Just my opinion, but what do I know?
Yeah, I would have to be able to break down each, like class 1 is easy because but
class 1 and class 5 are going to be simple. Class
okay.
2 and 6 you're going to have two different hubs. Because a class 2 happens when the die loses shape during the annealing, and it comes back, and your hub doesn't press into the exact same spots on the die because the die has warped.
Because I can take basically just this portion of this and blow it up to any size. So,
And
Huh.
you do that, you could create your class 2s. Your class 6s are, it's believed that class 6s happen on the hub, and the hub is not properly hardened. And that's what causes the distension or the extra thickness in the lettering.
okay.
And your class 3 is two separate designs. Your class 4 is offset, which is easy to do with what you've already got. Class
Yeah, I'm
7,
just
of course, modified hub doubling, we're not sure ever existed. That was what, back when Breen listed the 1958 over 7 Lincoln cents, he had thought that those were modified, being that it was one hub that had a 57 in it that they recut to make it a 58 hub or a master die, one or the other. But it was found to be a die gouge and delisted by everyone after Breen was dead. But the point being, the 1970-71 dies with a little bar above or below the 7. Those were at one time believed to be a modified hub, being that they had been small date and they were turned into large date hubs. And so class 7 was born to explain those. And since then, I think we've evolved beyond that.
and that's
We're
that's
looking something. My dog wants in. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. There he is. Okay.
so. And I mean, that's exactly the point. Is that I want to, use my skills to help, evolve the understanding of this stuff.
Right.
Because there's lots of great people, such as yourself, that can easily explain these, but not everybody gets it, being explained. Like, to
Right.
be able to see it is an entirely different level.
Looking at the results sometimes is a lot more difficult to get than looking at the cause.
Because that was the biggest thing for me to to really understand class 1, just a simple die rotation, is that I actually had to design it, and then it completely made sense after I did that.
Yeah. And here I was at 14 years old, and we didn't even have the internet, and I was trying to figure it out. It was a lot harder back then. This was back in a time when you couldn't send anyone an email and let them know that you had something. You had to send them a letter in the mail, and then they had to say, okay, send it. Then you send it. It'd take you 2 months to get anything done. But we liked it that way. Not really. But I'm supposed to say that because I'm old. I think my dog's telling me it's time to go to bed.
So yeah, if you think of something either more that we could do with this, or that I can do with this, I'm all for it, because I would love to, to recreate more aspects of, the dies, the hubs, like the entire process, to help people understand.
I haven't
To really
been watching the chat.
really explain, some of these processes.
There's people talking about us.
I'm used to it. They talk
We're
about
sitting
me
here
all the
having our
time.
conversation, not paying attention to anyone else, hijacking somebody's video.
Oh, you're all good.
What are you doing? Putting everything away?
I'm just relaxed.
Relaxed.
I got tired of looking at coins. My eyes starting to hurt.
I wish I had my little thingy set up. I'd show you guys some of what I've got that I haven't ever looked through. I've got 1944 D rolls I've never looked at.
Oh. How much you want for them?
I don't know. I might take your left arm. Maybe your right one too. I don't know. Now I think I've got about 4 or 5 rolls of 44D I've never been through. I've got a 1946S Bankrapt roll behind me here.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah, everybody's grumbling like, how can you do that? I don't know. It comes from having about 5,000 rolls and you can't pay attention to all of them at once.
First world problems, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah. My problem isn't that I don't have enough. My problem is I have too much to pay attention to.
Yep, it's 1:30 here, and I'm starting to fall out. So
At 2:30 here.
yeah, well, that's what you get for living in Florida.
Yeah, and I have to drive 3 hours across the state tomorrow.
Oh,
I put you about what in Georgia on it.
No, directly across the state. I'm on the Atlantic coast. I have to drive to the Gulf Coast.
Oh, okay.
Alligator Alley type stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, Chuck, I appreciate you coming in and helping out and explaining some stuff.
it's been enlightening.
Yep. CJ always got his toys out.
I've got my toys.
Yeah, CJ, we should probably get together at some point.
I'm good for that. Absolutely.
Where do you live?
West Coast, Oregon.
Oh, well, you're a little bit further away.
A little bit,
Like a weekend trip to come visit.
but I'm always available.
Okay. All right. You gonna be at the fun show this winter?
Where's the fun show at?
Orlando.
Maybe. I don't know yet.
The fun show is where I always get together with people because Orlando's only like an hour and a half drive from my house.
Oh, okay.
And so anybody pops down into Florida to go to the Orlando show in the wintertime, it's kind of my backyard. So it makes it easy
All right.
for me to visit with people.
Put that in my notes and see what I got going on.
It's first full week in January every year.
Where's my notes at?
All right, guys, I'm going to pop out of here. My dog has decided to lay down next to me and go to sleep, and he's snoring.
That'll work.
Thanks for dropping in, Chuck.
Yep.
All right, I'll see you guys.
Always. CJ, thank you very much.
Thank you, Blues.
And Cajun in here for a bit. They're in chat now. We got what, Cindy and Mike and Jeff. I think JC left already. So it's always a pleasure. I appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out. It's always fun. But I'm starting to fall out, so I want to go hit the head.
All right, man. Get some sleep.
Yep. Y'all take care.
Later, bro.
Later.